Boom, boom, kaboom. Let's go indeed. Good morning, Xbox, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 89, the final episode of Good Morning Xbox, at least for the foreseeable future. You know what we say, never say never. But for the meantime, yes, this will be the final episode, and we want to welcome everybody here. I'm going to start off by bringing in our fantastic panel. We're just about complete. We are waiting on Shaddai, but I'm not sure if he forgot that he had committed to come on to the show this morning. But if he shows up, we will definitely bring him in. Let's start by welcoming our phenomenal longtime panel member and essentially the co-host last year for a while, who took over the reins as I stepped away for a small hiatus. Now, and the good news is, of all this, and it's still shitty news, I know, but I'm sticking around. I'm not taking a break. I'm not leaving the community or anything else like that. But it is what it is. Let's bring in the magnificent one, Axel 1324.
Hey, good morning, Noob. Thanks so much for bringing me in. First one in. Woo!
And by the way, guys, I don't know if I can say this, but yeah, I'm going to say it anyway. It's Axel's birthday today. So everybody wish Axel a happy birthday. We are super honored to have him here on his birthday. He probably wanted to be counting some extra winks since he's now officially an old man. So there you go.
That's right. That's right. Big 4-1 today.
The big 4. Yeah, you cracked 40 and now into heading down the hill, down that slope.
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome to the 40s, my friend. They don't get any easier, I'll tell you that. All right. Speaking of old, let's bring in our oldest panel member, the wise one, CerebralPaul.
I'm the oldest one? Oh, shit. I thought that was Scrub. Okay, well, man. Hey, everybody. Welcome. And, for your birthday, Noof is stopping the show. So I don't know how I should look at that, but, but hey, happy birthday. Yeah. I remember 4-0. Yeah, that was, I had a great party on my 40th birthday. I remember the first 2 hours of it. After that, it's gone. Yeah.
That was 25 years ago, Paul?
Close, actually. Yeah, thank you very much, asshole. Yeah. No, not quite. 16 years ago. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, let's bring in a man who's not quite so old. He probably looks like he's one of the youngest panel members. He definitely looks like he's hardly a day over 25, but we know the difference. But anyway, welcoming back to the show after a couple of weeks away is the fantastic, smooth talking, fast walking, sharp shooting Scrub Nurse.
Good morning. Yes, this babyface smooth talking brother is 42, so I will take a 25 any day. Glad to be back. Glad to see everybody in the chat. Yeah, I've been out with work. I've been out with doing vacation, traveling the country, having some fun. So I'm glad to be here, hang out with everybody, see everybody, and talk some games, have some fun, rib our panel members, and just see where this goes today.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't be a fantastic morning of Good Morning Xbox without probably one of our most consistent panel members. She is our only female on the panel. She's bright, she's spunky, she's opinionated, and she's a big fan of indies. And she's got another doozy coming up for you today. It's the one, the only CoolcatTerri.
Yes, hello everybody. Hope you're all doing a fantastic, and it's going to be a good show. So yes, fun stuff.
It will be a good show indeed. Alrighty, let's catch up with the chat real quick before we jump into our topics and find out what everybody's been playing as well. Let's start out this morning with welcoming perhaps our show's biggest supporter, guy who's usually the first guy in the chat each and every day. He is also a co-panel member of the Iconic Video Games podcast. We are referring to Doggy Dog 420. Good morning and welcome. Doggy Dog is in the building. All right, we got another fantastic longtime fan of the show. Casket Repair is in the house, so you know it's going to be a good day when Casket shows up and is ready to lay it down with us. Fantastic stuff. Oh, I knew I could smell something funky. Harry Balzac is in here. What's going on, Harry? Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, Harry? I love it when he shows up to the to my podcast, Noof, because it's very PG-13.
Right.
And just like you taught me, I say hi to the chat, and I gotta read his name no matter what it is.
You can say it properly. Harry Balzac.
Balzac.
Yeah. Ice Queen Gavin is here in the house. What's going on, Ice Queen? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Our good brother Dreadpool is in the house. And speaking of brother Dread, it was pretty cool to see his wife is now your new panel member.
She is, and she's fantastic. She's a breath of fresh air, and she's gonna fill in a void that's at the IVGP. For a while, she's a horror fan, so she's definitely playing different games than we do, and we look forward to having that on the show.
Indeed. Well, it was a great debut for Death Dealer. Go check him out on the Iconic Video Games podcast Friday nights, but Axel will have more details about that later in the show.
Yep.
All right, who else we got in the house this morning? I think we just about addressed everybody. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone. Like I said, Dreadpool is here. Ice Queen is here. We got RWK88 in the building. What's going on, brother RWK? And we do have a couple of super chats. One is from RWK. Let's start with the first super chat this morning. Axel, you could do the honors.
All right, my brother Doggy Dog 420 drops $1.99 saying, "Much love, Noof panel and chat. Lots of love."
Absolutely. Lots of love for you, Doggy Dog, one of the most energetic individuals you will ever meet. You have some great answers to some questions on Friday night, too. Oh, my God. It was too funny. Great stuff. And let's get over to RWK. He's been a new fan of the show. There you go. RWK88 drops $1.99.
Oh, yeah. RWK88 drops $1.99. He says, "Good morning, sunshine."
Absolutely. Good morning, Sunshine. Percolator 9000 is in the building. What's going on, brother Perk? Good to see you here. Have a fantastic morning. All righty. Let's get that super chat off the screen and let's get right into the meat and potatoes. First of all, what's everybody been playing? I see a lot of people are got their toes dabble into the Diablo 4 open beta when they're able to get into it, of course. I've heard there's been some long queues on that thing. Who wants to start with us this morning? Let's start with Paul because I think Paul's been playing it. So, Paul, you've been dabbling with Diablo 4. Do you think it's going to be all that in a bag of chips? And Paul is AWOL. Let's start over with Axel.
Paul's the potato. Yeah. I think Diablo 4 is all that in a bag of chips. I haven't played it because I just can't bring myself to wait on the queues. I'm sorry, I'm too busy. But I see people playing it. I've seen streams of it. It looks fantastic. It looks just like everything I want Diablo 4 to look like and play like. And I am a day one adopter when it releases. And I'm kind of glad I'm not playing it because I hear a lot of these guys that have played it are having Diablo remorse, if you will. And they just are like, "Oh man, it's gonna be such a long wait till June."
Right.
So
yeah, because it is over now, right? The open beta is closed.
It closes today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it closes sometime today. So get in if you can. But other than that, I've been playing Wolong a lot. I just finished beating a boss that shouldn't have been a boss. He was so easy. I don't even know how I beat him. That's how easy he was. It was weird. But I'm really enjoying that Wolong. And yeah, just doing my birthday celebration all week long. That's really all I've been doing.
There you go. Week-long celebration for Axel.
That's
Punishing
right.
himself with some Wolong and everything in between. And Diablo 4. I haven't tried it. I some of those betas I really couldn't get into. Yeah. But anyway. Here he is. Just fresh off of probation. Here he is and back for the final episode. Welcoming to the stream is our good friend, Eternal Shaddai.
Good morning. Sorry, I overslept.
I knew it.
Kind of figured as much.
I overslept. So how's everybody doing? It's good to be back, though.
We're doing good. How have you been? It looks like you got a job at the old McDonald's. Is that an old McDonald's shirt?
Yeah, this is the new version, the 2023 version of McDonald's. So.
I say they're old staff shirts from back in the 90s, I think it is. Yeah. The mustard look. No, man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same without you.
I would say the same thing. I miss you guys. We had a lot of, laugh, giggles, a lot of heated conversations, starting with the Kingdom Hearts, CGI. You see, that's why Terry's kind of smiling a little bit right there. So, yeah, good moments, though. Good moments.
Nice. Well, since you got you on screen, what have you been playing?
Actually, last night I finished doing the Blacktail. So I was working on my achievements, and I finally did 100% achievements. So right now, my plan for today, actually later on today, is to do Max Payne.
Nice. What, the original?
Yeah, from the original all the way to the third.
Oh, nice.
I'm still planning to do Resident Evil 4, which I did play the demo. That was nice, but that's gonna be probably later on.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get over to well, the way they appear on my screen is totally different from the way the order is on the building. So we're gonna go with on the screen, and let's go with CoolcatTerri. What have you been playing?
All right, I've been playing One Piece Odyssey, and I've been enjoying myself with that. I just completed chapter 2, so but yeah. For those of you who don't know what One Piece is, you're not gonna understand. I can't really go into detail; it's too much. But yeah, it's been a really fun experience so far playing it. It was definitely a game that was on my list. So
yeah, that's the new one, and they've had a few of those games. Is this one a traditional Japanese RPG, or is it like a turn-based?
Yeah, it's turn-based. This is the second RPG that they've done for One Piece. Normally, they just do more like tournament fighting kind of stuff for but this one's really good. And it doesn't. The only negative about it is I feel like they geared it a little bit more towards like there's no difficulty setting, so I can't make it more difficult. So it just feels it's way too easy for me. Like I don't have to put any strategy into the turn-based fighting.
But isn't it because you said chapter 2 is easy? Because usually it brought to my mind Final Fantasy X that it was easy at the beginning, but once you go to the middle and end, that's a whole different level.
Yeah, I don't know, because like I just got done with the fight with Crocodile, and it wasn't like I had to put any effort in it at all. It was just one and done, So I was like, so it's but it's still fun if you're a fan of One Piece. It's still fun.
Terry, explain One Piece in one sentence.
One Piece is absolute pirate madness.
And that's kind of what it is.
So it's better than Black Flag, though?
She's not wrong.
Based on the hit One Piece animated show, which again is about a bunch of misfit pirates. Really, that's at the end of the day. Let's catch up with the chat real quick because we got some amazing people showing up here. Jacob Novik is in the house. I see Nix is here as well. Toolman55 is in the building. Our good friend Kay Asante is here as well. Good to see you here. Brando Calorizia is in the building. What's going on, brother Brando? General Spartan here as well. The Jinna has graced us with his presence this morning, and so many more. Jesse Darby's in the house. What's going on, Jesse? Percolator 9000. Dragonheart Yobi's here. It's going to be a good day when Dragonheart Yobi gets out of bed and joins us. What's going on, Dragonheart? Good to see you, my friend. Fantastic crew already. All right, let's get over to Scrub Nerds. Scrub, I know you haven't had a lot of time on your hands to get into games. Have you been able to dabble with anything?
Well, of course, I dabbled a little bit of Call of Duty, of course. Yes. I played about 2 or 3 hours the other day. And late last night, I downloaded and started the beta for Diablo. So I'm about like level 9 now, Necromancer. Man, is that fun. The opening cutscene, once I saw the opening cutscene, and I was like, man, I'm ready to go. But they were able to do, especially with the beta and the engine that they're using, playing the game. I like when you have a cutscene with your character. It shows not just looking over your shoulder or in a first-person POV. It shows your character with all the different things you might add as shields, weapons, armor, all of that is added in there. It's pretty cool. Going to the fight, and this is from somebody who does not play Diablo. This is from somebody who I never got into it because I didn't want to life suck, because I knew it was going to be easy for me to just get drawn into it. It's I think last night I got into bed around like 2 o'clock in the morning because I was playing freaking Diablo 4 beta, but it's good. I can't wait for it to come out. Will I buy the full version or will I buy it on Game Pass? I don't know. I might actually get the full version. I hadn't had a chance to play with a crew. It's just been me solo, and I've been enjoying it, learning everything I need to do, play the mechanics. Started with the the easiest mode just to learn everything, and then I moved up to veteran, and it's just been fantastic. So I definitely can't wait. For the folks who haven't had a chance to yet, I think the beta ends tomorrow afternoon. I think tomorrow afternoon Eastern time. So if you have a chance later on today, jump in it just to see what it's like. I definitely can't wait. I'm glad Xbox has this game to play later on. It's fantastic.
Indeed. All righty, we started with you first, but somehow you managed to disappear on us, Paul. I know you've been, I think, dabbling with Diablo 4. So what else have you been able to play?
Oh, sure. Then skip right past the Diablo 4 stuff. What else have you been doing? Okay, well.
No, you tell us.
First, let me say that, I heard him mention Max Payne. Now that you're 40 there, old man, you're going to be feeling Max Payne really soon here. So, but yeah,
I hope it's in slow motion.
You wish. You're going to be
You'll move in slow motion.
As long as my wife doesn't say it's slow motion, I'm happy.
You're going to hit the phase now where every time you get up out of bed, it's going to be you're going to first 10 minutes sitting on the side of the bed, deciding if you want to actually get up.
Oh, man, I've done that since I was 18. But true story, the other day I got out of the bed, and first step I took, I don't know, I hurt my toes somehow just walking, and I fell to the ground. I don't even know how it happened. I didn't tell them or anything. They're just like, "Oh, today's not the day."
It's weird. You wake up and you ask yourself, what happened to me last night? I feel like I got beat with a stick or something, and you're just like, ugh.
Yep. Wait till you throw your back out sleeping. That's
I'm looking forward to that.
Paul's the only human on the planet that gets bruised when he moves his pillow.
That's right.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I've done a lot of Diablo 4. Last weekend I got a rogue up to level 25. This weekend, even in one day, I got my necro up to 25. Those are my two favorite classes. I'll probably run a Source for today for a while. And then I've also been doing WWE 2K23. So
how is that compared to 22? Is the mechanics much improved now?
Yes, they are. The mechanics are improved. The controls are very much improved as far as accessibility and just usability are concerned. They're much more simplified. There's a lot of stupid quality of life issues with the graphics and stuff. Right. There really shouldn't be there in a game like this, but they are. But it's nothing game killing. What's game killing is you could be doing a match, and all of a sudden at the end of the match, instead of saying, okay, you can move on to the next ladder match or on the ladder to move up, it says lost connection to server, which means you have to do it over again. And when you're dealing with a 3-person ladder match or something like that, that's difficult to begin with. It's really a pain in the butt.
Indeed. Well, I'm glad to hear that because I've been tempted to pick it up, but I'm not going to buy it full price. Obviously, I'll just wait till it's on sale or whatever because I'm just not that big of a wrestling fan, but I definitely wanted to get back into one. I haven't bought one since 2016. As for what I've been playing, guys, a little bit of the old school this past week or so. Obviously, still trying to finish up Horizon Call of the Mountain on the PSVR 2. But I just haven't been gaming as much this past week as I wanted, and certainly haven't been on my PlayStation much.
Speaking of throwing things out, trying to play that game, because I watched my roommate do it. That's going to make you work out physically, man.
Dude, I'm not kidding. After the first the first day I had it, because I played it probably the most was the first couple of days, and my neck muscles on my shoulders are sore from doing the whole climbing freaking mountains. They're not kidding when they call it Call of the Mountain. It's like, holy shit, I'm really climbing a freaking mountain. It's like it's climbing without the weight of your body. That's about it. Yeah. It's like, holy shit. It's insane. But anyway, I've been playing some trying to get back into the Resident Evil series and finish up some games I never did. I like Resident Evil 2, the remake. So then I'm going to move on to number 3 and then hopefully pick up number 4 down the road here. Cool game, man. I finally got the furthest I've ever been in Resident Evil 2 remake. I just got to just got out of the police station and I'm heading on down the backstretch here. So pretty cool stuff. I'm enjoying
You're telling me you're still at the beginning?
Is that still at the beginning?
I don't know, man. I haven't finished the remake.
That's what I said. The game's not all that long from what I heard.
Yeah.
So several
Have
hours.
you seen the opening credits? Have you? No.
If you are a speedrunner, yes, they will say it's short.
Well, I find that game like just it's simple, but it's so confusing. Like because you always got to backtrack to go press a button to get something else, and
It was like
and
that
these
in the
damn
past
bullet
too.
sponge zombies. It's like surely crap, man.
Shoot him
Like,
in the head, dude.
That's how I.
Oh,
That's how I found
everything's
Village.
everything's in the freaking head, man. Like 10 times you're like capping these guys in the head, and it's like, would you just drop already? Like, there's nothing left of your head, and you're still moving. Oh my lord! You're
So
like,
it had the same difficulty like in the past.
oh my god! Well, it's easier to aim down than it was in the past, but you still,
yeah,
you
that's
still
true.
just
Oh,
keep
yeah.
coming at you. And you're
That's
like, holy
actually
crap!
true.
Yeah, these things are almost as tough as John Wick. Watched the Fort movie last night, by the way. If you guys are John Wick fans and you haven't seen it, you're in for.
I'm gonna go see that today for my birthday, actually. So yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm going next week. Yep.
God, that's all I'm going to say is what a freaking movie.
Man,
Holy
everybody's
man.
going. I might as well
Yeah.
go today.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my
it's
John
crazy.
Wick moment yesterday.
Let me
You
just say
shot
that-
people? Did you double tap? Did you touch
in my
it? Did you?
In my class yesterday, I was shooting
Yeah.
at the range. Yeah.
Nice.
Ah.
I thought you were looking at everybody going, whoa. Yeah. Huh? I don't know how many times John Wick says that one word in those movies. Like, yeah. He's a man of few
I'm
words.
mad.
Yeah. Are you
I
mad,
did
John?
turn my gun sideways a couple of times. You know how it looks.
Pulled your jacket up, gonna deflect some bullets. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Anyway, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of the conversation today. And not to beat a dead horse, but we are going to touch briefly on the whole Xbox acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Unless you've been living under a rock the past couple of days, obviously the CMA has basically gone through everything and has found that overall they were one of the biggest, bystanders, I guess you could say, or people that were kind of standing in the way of this thing happening. And after, a long documentation process, and certainly after finding things from Sony's disclosures, that they have deemed that this merger, I don't like the word takeover, this buy of Activision Blizzard, it's not going to be a significant enough thing to cause, massive downslide of Sony's dominance, so to speak. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm not technically savvy, or I guess you could say I'm not legally savvy enough to go through all this and explain it to everybody in long terms. And I don't read all these big, long, boring documents. But my question for the panel is, and certainly as well with the chat, is, this is obviously a big thing. It's a big positive step in the right direction for Microsoft. This has been a long process, and I'm pretty sure Phil and company want this to get behind them, put it in the past so they can move forward. But what changes if and when this goes through? And it's starting to look a little bit more of it's just when it goes through as opposed to if. What really changes moving forward then? Do you think a whole lot changes for the company? Does their outlook change? Does the business model overall for everybody really change? I mean, that's the key here. Like, what do you think kind of goes down? Is this what we can expect from the industry now? Is sort of everybody now is going to be looking to snap up whoever they can snap up, because everybody's going to try to extend their houses, so to speak. So let's hear what everybody thinks, and I'm going to leave this as an open table here. So whoever wants to start first, what do you think?
Let me just jump in real quick, because I only have a couple of things to say. One, I'm pretty sure that the response letter the CMA sent Sony basically said, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?" After they read through everything,
pretty much,
because they got all the lambasted, fanboy crap at the beginning when they first posted their stuff. And then you can tell they went through it and went, yeah, no, none of this makes sense. You guys can go away, so I think they made the right decision. Hopefully this will lean our group, the FTC, to go, yeah, you know what? Maybe we need to look at this logically and have it make sense, and not just, try to jump on the bandwagon. So I'm hopefully in about a month, we're going to have the final word and it's going to be done. Mm-hmm. So that's it. That's all I got to say.
So you think immediately then after this is over, like all the Activision games kind of just drop into Game Pass? I mean, one of the big fears that many of us have is that as soon as this deal kind of finalizes and the dust settles, we start to see those price hikes in Xbox Game Pass. We might see the subscription numbers go up, but we're also fearing that the subscription rate is going to jump through the roof. So with the way of inflation's been working recently, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Do you think that's a possibility, or do you think that Microsoft, at least for the time being, will stay status quo?
For the time being, it's going to stay status quo, and probably in some cases, it's going to look better to some people.
Right.
For the in the short term here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I can really say about that. That's okay.
Well, I think if it even goes up $5, it's still more than worth the value. There's no question about that.
Oh yeah.
Our good friend Dragons TV is in the chat. What's going on, Brother Lemon? Good to see you, man. Brandon Burns is here. Jacob Novik is in the building. I see Crazy Greek Dude is here as well. We got Dan the Man Cunningham hanging out with us as well this morning. Great people in the chat already. Good to see everybody here. The FBI surveillance man is apparently hanging out in Modernist this morning. So
If I should die.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're keeping their eye on Shaddai.
Sure, it doesn't run away. Keep that ankle bracelet on, Shaddai.
Yeah. Speaking of Shaddai, let's bring him in since he hasn't had a chance to really talk on this show for a couple of months now. Shaddai, have you been following this whole thing kind of closely, or really could care less? Just kind of glad that it's maybe just about over.
Actually, yes, and this is one of the topics that you hear all over the place, even not during the video game news or anything like that. Even you talk about that while you're playing pretty much whatever game you're playing with your buddies. It's like what my friend and I we be talking about last night. Now that they found out that there's nothing wrong with it, what Microsoft needs, like, if I was Microsoft, I would have said, you know what? Everybody's going to get 10 years, and Sony is the only one that's going to get probably 3, because they're the only one. Yeah, because they're the only ones who, gave them headaches. Like, really? I'm giving everybody, a fair share. And pretty much they're the only one who was against and all that. And you know what? This is what we'll do, just to be, and then still you gave me a hard time, but I'm still going to give you, a fair treatment. 3 years, all the bells and whistles. There's no parity. I would have said that there's no parity here for the PlayStation and here for the Xbox, because you guys gave me a headache. And
let me speak to that real quick. Yeah. I just want to say it's a balancing act, because you don't want to piss off the customers. The company may be a bunch of heads up their asses types, but you don't necessarily want to burn a whole entire customer base because you don't like the way they fought you. So,
but at the same time, that's the reason why, even though you get 3 years, that's why I say we'll do the bells and whistles that comes with PlayStation, but it shouldn't be any sort of parity. Just like, you know what, we'll use whatever the PlayStation brings, but at the same time, we'll use what the Xbox brings for 3 years. So
I think you're misrepresenting the term when you say there shouldn't be any sort of parity. You're saying they shouldn't be equal.
What I'm saying is that just remember that Sony started complaining about, but you know what? They will bring buggy games. They will do this. So they're making some weird assumptions that even though Microsoft said, because it's in all articles, like, we will give you all this for 10 years. The parities will give you this, we'll give you that. And they still say no.
But that was said to help shut down the case if they could. Most of that was not in good faith. They didn't believe it their own selves. Most of that was so they could try to somehow shut down the deal. That's why a lot of this stuff is falling apart now, because they were just saying that and hoping folks would take the bait. So I wouldn't go off of what they were saying. Oh, this is going to hurt us, such and such. It will hurt them to some bit, maybe, if they're saying financing their next game, but only a little bit. So I wouldn't go by what they were trying to send to the FTC, because most of that was farcical.
No, I mean, after it got, no, for me, it's more after everything has been agreed. Everything is done and ready to go.
Yeah, but the last thing
But you're
Microsoft
still,
wants
That's
to
not
do
good
is
business. That's not
the
good
last thing
only
business
thing that is
Microsoft
at
wants to
all.
changing,
do is start
the
acting
only
like
thing
it's
that was
filed
changing was
toil.
the year. The only thing was changing the year. The rest of it is pretty much the same.
Yeah. But the last thing Microsoft wants to do is start looking like a big bully asshole here, and just because, well, you guys were kind of nasty to us, so now we're going to play hardball the other way. Like that, I think that kind of
They're
defeats
still gonna make the
everything that
money.
they've
There
been
is
going
not
for.
like they're gonna lose those 130
No,
million
yeah,
people.
but they're gonna lose some money. No company wants to lose any
renewing,
money.
keep renewing it, keep renewing it,
Let's-
keep renewing it.
No, what they're doing, they're not going to give them a shorter one if they've already agreed to everybody having a 10. So you're doing a 10-year deal, that's going to move you into a whole nother generation of consoles after this one that we're in now. For them to turn around and do anything else but to have parity on there would be just horrible business practices. I play COD all the time. There are more PlayStation folks and PC folks playing on that system.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the folks that I play with in the group, there's a lot of Xbox peoples that I'll play with and I'll get in there, but I'm playing against a lot of PlayStation people as well. It makes no sense to have that juggernaut as far as a cash cow and then slight the other one and then make it. That's what PlayStation was doing when they had their little deals. You give everybody everything. The only thing that I would say, if you ever wanted to say, oh, I'm going to do something, is you do the betas. You get the first dib at the beta. 2 weeks or the beta 1 week on Xbox before it comes on the PlayStation. But I would not take skins away. I would not take map packs away. I would not do any of those things, because why cut off that money? You want the money to do whatever you want to do with whatever projects you want and to show your shareholders how well the Xbox thing's doing. Plus, you don't want any regulation company to go, see, this is what we were worried about, and you start doing that the second.
Yep.
I've been saying this since day one, since it was first rumored that Activision and Xbox are going to do the thing. It makes no sense to touch Call of Duty and mess with it anyway. I always said it will never be exclusive. There will never be, oh, you'll have it here on Game Pass, but you won't have it all on PlayStation unless you pay such and such and such and such. You do not want to mess with that money, especially since so many people still play it on PlayStation. Just because it's on Xbox, even if it goes to Game Pass, it does not mean all of those people are going to leave PlayStation and come to Xbox. You're still going to have a massive amount, because you have fan bases. Yep. You have the whole ecosystem that you're involved in. Folks have put in thousands of dollars. They're not going to drop that ecosystem and move over. Especially, why would you do that when Call of Duty is crossplay? There's no reason to do any of that, because it's crossplay anyway. Keep it just like it is. It's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And in doing this, they also, it's good faith to the customers too, for Xbox to be able to say, look, we told you we were going to leave it on your box. We left it on your box. They don't want to turn around and burn all those customers.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it makes PlayStation look even worse too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that is the case, might as well. If you want to put it on equal round, what they should put is pretty much, it shouldn't be any parity. It should be everything equally. Like I said, it shouldn't be.
The only thing that probably won't be equal is the Game Pass bit. It'll probably
true.
go to Game Pass day one.
True.
Other than that, everything will be the same.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's what they should do. That's what they should do. No parity. Whatever the PlayStation brings, we're gonna utilize everything, and we're gonna utilize everything that the Xbox console offers. There shouldn't be no parity there.
Catch up in the chat real quick. We got Happy Cloud Gamer in the building. Nix is here with us as well. We got Jacob Novik on. Chio Walker's in the house. We got MacBound making his first appearance in here this morning. Good to see you, Mac. Fahim Scott is hanging out with us. Good to see you, Fahim. Yeah, man. Brando. The list goes on. Dan the Man Cunningham. Great people in the building this morning. Good to see you all here. Thank you so much. Dragons TV, aka Lemons in the house.
Lemon.
What's going on, brother? All right. Let's do this. Anyway, sorry, continue on. Whoever wants to.
I agree with the no parity statement, right? Because PlayStation is going to get the DualSense haptics on their system, as they should. They should get their 3D audio, whatever they call it.
Mhm.
And Xbox is going to get Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision on these games, and they should also get that graphical upgrade because the Xbox is more
Superior.
powerful than the PlayStation. And some
No,
games do
I
and some
agree
games
with
don't.
that, Axel. I agree with that. I'm just saying don't downgrade it because one's on PlayStation, one's on Xbox.
Oh no,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think they're
max
still
them
gonna.
out both.
I think they're still
Yeah.
gonna aim for as much out of that PlayStation hardware as they can, and they
Right.
should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when you look at the clauses that have been said, they're saying content parity. They're not saying graphical parity. They're not saying I
Right.
don't know, controller feature parity. None of that. None of those words. So there is going to be a difference. And if you recall, in some of the leaks of PlayStation contracts that have leaked out, graphical parity is on that contract. And that's one of the words that has been heavily avoided in this deal. So I think that's what changes as far as going forward, which system is going to be shown off more. And this time around, Xbox is the most powerful system, at least until the PS5 Pro that's rumored comes out. And
Pro.
yeah, the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, the Pro.
Once it comes out. So I think that's the way it's going to run. I definitely think all the Call of Duty titles are immediately coming to Xbox, much like the old Doom titles did. But however, you got to remember, PlayStation still has, I think, one more game.
Yeah, they do. They have one more game
on their contract. So maybe these last 3 games will not be on Game Pass Day as soon as that day closes because they're still under contract. So maybe those will not. So Modern Warfare 2 and the one before, I don't remember what it was.
It'll be a while before it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But what you'll do is you can throw the older titles into Game Pass. People still play on those servers. There was still people who are diligent playing games like Cold War, Black Ops 4, 3, all of those still are getting played. So put the older ones in there, but it'll be a while before the new one day and date goes into Game Pass.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
and
can't
gals-
wait to see the Blizzard titles on Game Pass. The Blizzard launcher is fantastic. It works pretty dang good. It updates pretty good. I don't know how they're gonna move all that into the Game Pass launcher, but we'll see. We will see.
Does anyone here think that one of the unsung heroes so far, at least certainly getting plenty of praise through the social media, has been the what is it? I think it's the COO or this something Lulu Missouri.
I love Lulu, baby.
She's really come out. She's really come out and put the spotlight on, so to speak, and has been able to say things through her social media account that I guess other executives have steered clear of. And it's kind of, it's really putting certain things into light about how childish and how stupid some of this really is. And I think it's fantastic personally, just, and it's just like some of the devs every once in a while when they speak up and talk about the toxic fan base and they call certain things out, and I think she's been fantastic, and I think she's almost the unsung hero in my personal opinion because she really put the spotlight on, as I said, and got people looking at this from a different angle.
I love it when her response is like, "You're so stupid." A little bit of research.
Her memes are top notch, though.
She must be taking a lot of heat, like on her social. I can only imagine what her comments looks like every once in a while.
Oh, dude, her comments are nothing but memes of her being the queen.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I like Lulu Chang mostly because she is fighting back against the media for misquotes and clickbait and not understanding anything, and I really enjoy that because we as gamers deserve better than just hot takes and misleading headlines. So I really like the way she's taking on the media itself. She's taking on journalists. She's made them take it down. She's made them post what do you call it when they redo an article? I don't remember what they call it.
A retraction or edit.
Yeah, retraction. That's what it is. Yeah. So I really like that Lulu Chang, Missouri. Is it Missouri?
Missouri.
Missouri. That Lulu Chang, Missouri, is keeping finally someone with power is keeping the media honest, which is what we've always talked about on this show, is that the media is biased. They're not giving us the right information. They're lying. And then here's someone that actually backs up our claim and proves us right, in my opinion. Because I'll tell you what, I hate the lying media. The gaming media. I'm talking gaming media, guys. Let's not get it out of whack here.
Yes,
I only go to gaming news.
Fake news.
Fake news. That's right. So shout out to her.
At the end of the day, you're all saying that really, it's business as usual for Microsoft, though, right? No matter what happens here. Yeah, Terry is up here like, I am so sick of this crap.
I am sick of this crap. I mean,
Do
yeah,
you think the industry changes, Terry? Do you think other companies now, we start seeing this buying spree? We've seen Tencent just quietly do it. Nobody's ever really said, oh, nobody's really called them out. But, do you see, was it Tencent or who was the other one, Embracer, that like snapped up the Tomb Raider thing and turned it around and sold it for a profit immediately after?
That was Embracer.
Embracer, right? Like, see what I mean? Like, we're starting to see all these, whether it's an IP or they're buying studios, but we're starting to see a little bit of this going. And everybody's going to look for an edge up. We saw this in the streaming services where Amazon, we got this big war going on right now between Amazon and you got Hulu and you got Netflix and you got like every service under the sun now is fighting to get content. So they're buying up stuff. They're buying studios. They're signing long-term licensing agreement. I mean, is this where we're heading in the game space?
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to like the whole Embracer and Tencent thing, that's going to continue because until the fan bases can get over themselves enough to realize that there are bigger enemies out there instead of battling each other over stupid nonsense, that they're going to continue to slide under the radar. So until it gets to the point to where they're so big, now all eyes are going to be on them. And at that point, it's already too late because, you guys, ignored them for so long. I don't know. With the stuff here with the CMA, I mean, there's still a chance this deal might not go through. I mean, it's looking a lot better now that we've got they're okay with it for the UK consumer base, but that's all it is. It's just okay that they're happy with it for the UK consumer base. I mean, this isn't a guarantee that the thing is that the deal's going through. It's just one last hurdle that they have to get over, they still got to face everything else, but it's definitely better. It's, but it's not a guarantee.
No, absolutely.
No, but remember, Microsoft has already said if the EU says okay as well, they're going to go ahead and go through with it and let the FTC take them to court. Flat out, they've said that.
Mm-hmm. Well, some point in time, they got to move the needle forward. They have business plans, they have timelines, they have projects, they have everything, and they have to move this forward, and then see where it goes. I think Microsoft knows that. They're confident enough to know that, they got most of their eggs in the right basket here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And remember, now they're trying to put, Sony under investigation about all this type of contract they have done if there was something illegal about it.
Well, we saw how things work in the Japanese market for PlayStation, right? And it's pretty shrewd over there. They're not arguing about them money hat and everything on that side of the pond, right? Yeah. So we got a super chat coming in versus Dragons TV. Just before we get to you, Scrub, Dragons TV Lemon, he drops one in the chat. Go ahead, Axel.
All right. Fellow GUG member 108 Dragons TV drops $5. He says, I have to push back when a company is bought. Previous contract don't have to be honored. It's solely on the company who makes the purchase. Microsoft plays nice.
Indeed.
So when you acquire a company, publicly traded companies, you acquire the legal parts of it too. That includes any legal payments they have to make through lawsuits or anything like that. And that's all part of the discovery when you're trying to negotiate how much a company is worth to buy them. And I kind of speak a little out of experience because I've sat in some of these long, boring meetings where it's just a bunch of lawyers and you have to take the legal stuff with you on every contract. And Microsoft lawyers and executives probably read every single Activision Blizzard contract and commitment they have. Like, how Activision Blizzard in California is being sued by California, right?
Correct.
Once they're acquired, they're still being sued by California. That doesn't change. Microsoft has to handle that lawsuit now. So that's just the way it goes. And yeah, there is a cancellation fee to every contract, and Microsoft has just opted for the optics, if you will, as you say, playing nice, for the optics of honoring every contract and fulfilling it. And I think that's the correct choice, especially if they're going to continue to buy more gaming companies or more publishers.
Yeah. Right.
That's my opinion, Lemon. But great point.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead, Scrub.
Too, with contracts as well, if there's a contract with another company, the company who purchased it either has to agree with that, or what they'll do is, if you're going to break that contract, they pay the money to break that contract that was held with that previous company. So there are pros. There are pros and cons with those acquisitions and those previous held contracts. Yes, you can say no. We're not doing that anymore, but there usually is a consequence with breach of contract, things of that nature.
Yeah, indeed. Alrighty. Any further thoughts? Otherwise, we can move along. Again, it's all too early, and it's all speculation at this point. I mean, how things go and what changes. We know the industry, regardless, is certainly in for a bit of a shakeup. The business models have certainly changed. Some companies are not a fan of it. Some companies are. I guess it depends on which side of the fence. Look, I understand the concern of PlayStation fans, especially those who have been entrenched in one ecosystem their entire lives and just are absolutely terrified or embarrassed to go out and buy anything that's Xbox related, whether it's an Xbox One S or the Series S or X, or just get a PC or whatever. We've heard all of these weird fanboy arguments for years. How many people that we hear and you see on social media all the time, when Xbox has a great game, well, I don't need an Xbox, I got a PC. So they all seem to have these fantastic PCs, so I don't see what the freaking issue is, because the games are still coming to PC. But I think what it does, it really exposes the trolls, it exposes the diehard fanboyism, it exposes the lies. There's a lot of it, the fraud, so to speak, and not to try to get off on a whole tangent here, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's probably a win for the industry as a whole. I mean, it's certainly a big thing for Microsoft. I mean, they have invested millions, if not billions already, into going in on Game Pass. They're all in. They can't back out now. You got people saying, well, if this fails, Xbox is done and they're going to close the shop. I don't think that's the case at all.
Make them organic.
Absolutely. That is not the case. But, when you've invested in it, you got to go all in. You can't go halfway in on something like this and go, yeah, you know what, Satya, this just isn't working. Let's throw all that money in the toilet now and go a completely different route. They're smart enough to know that they can't compete toe-to-toe in terms of a console sales race. We know that as part. Look, say what it is, but it's part of the reason we don't see numbers from Microsoft like we did in the past, because yes, sure, they're doing great in North America. They are standing toe to toe with anybody here, but it's other places in the world where they struggle, and that's just because of obviously those other consoles have had a foothold for a lot longer than Xbox has, and they're very coy about switching or trying anything new. So they're going after the space, and we've said this a billion times in the show already. They're going after the one space that has no debate, and that's mobile, right? This is far beyond Call of Duty. Anybody who is smart enough to know this goes way beyond Call of Duty. This is cloud, which is one of Microsoft's bread and butter areas right now. We don't talk about it much, but it is. If you look at the stats, you look at the charts, cloud is huge for them right now. That Azure service is looking bigger and better every day for them. And other people are borrowing their tech and they're paying licensing stuff. And I know where other people are going to go with this, but it's so much more than Call of Duty. But the reason Microsoft doesn't want to part with Call of Duty is the same reason PlayStation doesn't, because that is the biggest marketing tool in the deal, right? It's that name that everybody recognizes. It's that name that when you go to a theater now, or you see an Xbox startup, or even, as someone said, in future editions of Call of Duty, going to have an Xbox Studios logo on it. How they're going to have a Game Pass logo somewhere. So everybody's going to know at some point that Call of Duty is on Game Pass. And I would say most consumers, especially parents that are on a budget or kids that like to play this each and every year, what do you think is going to happen for them? They're going to get Game Pass, right? You would think that. I think that's the logical thing. I think they know that. It's not guaranteed, but I think we all know that Call of Duty, it's a big reason that PlayStation doesn't want to give it up, because there's no other game that they'd rather have plastered across the boxes of PlayStation than the Call of Duty franchise. It's they've admitted it's made them a ton of money, and they don't want, and they're still going to make a ton of money. Nothing's really going to change, but we are going to see a drop probably in some of their revenues, and most importantly, you're going to see the perception change, right? That's the thing. For it didn't take long for things to change, because remember when Xbox used to be known as the Call of Duty box, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, and now and then
Shooter
over the
box.
past few years, it was PlayStation's the Call of Duty box. PlayStation's got all the Call of Duty promotions. Some people didn't even know Call of Duty existed on Xbox anymore. I know it's that weird. It's weird, I know, but we know how, yes, the hardcore, the people on this panel, people in the chat are so very entrenched into this business. We follow it. But for the average consumer, there are so many consumers out there. It's unbelievable. I hear stories every day. If you go into GameSpot and GameStop and you spend 20 minutes in their store, listen to some of the people that walk in. They're oblivious. They have no idea what's going on in the game space because they don't follow. They're not watching YouTube. They walk in and they see a poster on the wall. They walk in and they hear what the staff members trying to tell them. And in most cases, I've caught some of that real red-handed too, where you got the PlayStation guys behind the counter working there, supposed to be technically non-biased, but pushing bias is like crazy. I've literally corrected. I'm not kidding you. I've corrected staff at GameStop because they're telling lies to their customers because they hate Xbox. And we've seen this across the industry, and people wonder why there's a disdain for the other platform because of this kind of bullshit where people can't even be honest anymore. They just spew their own narrative, and then that's it. But anyway, I'm off on another tangent. But look, I'm glad that, well, this is our final episode, so you won't hear us talk about it anymore, at least not here.
Yeah, just not here. We'll be out there
not here.
in these streets.
In the streets. Somebody will take it over. Don't worry. That's still going to happen. Absolutely, Fahim. Absolutely. What's KS Sunday saying? Noof, he says that's the biggest reason why Sony's been fighting so hard beyond the money. It's about the perception. They don't want Xbox to be associated with the brand. Absolutely. Right on the money.
Nothing's going to change with the game. The thing, as a Call of Duty player, the thing I'm excited about more is the servers. You got all of these zeros to get Call of Duty on some dedicated servers with more servers. What will the servers like in the gameplay be with Microsoft being able to put them on those servers? If they don't say, oh, we'll just leave it with Activision, Blizzard, whatever servers they had before. That's what I really want to see on there. PlayStation biggest mistake, if you want to call a mistake in this whole situation, was just pinpoint Call of Duty, because with everything you'll be able to do with Call of Duty, it's just like I said, it's a fallacy. The stuff is crossplay now. You're able to do this and this with both consoles, but if they would have made a bigger argument with stuff that they're really not into right now, cloud gaming, mobile gaming, especially with it not being big on PlayStation and Nintendo, them cutting out Nintendo in the conversation. I think all of that was the biggest mistake on this. They would have had a way better argument if they would have added that in there and left Call of Duty alone, because they were doing stuff in their contracts to keep stuff. It opened them up to so much more. If they would have dealt with the cloud gaming, if they would have dealt with mobile, all those things, I think it would have been a lot harder for Xbox to pull this off.
In one sense, I think the whole fact that Nintendo's been able to thrive and carve their own path without Call of Duty was actually, I think, one of the things in itself that kind of made people stand back, because you go, wow, well, Nintendo's been super successful, one of the industry leaders, and they never even had a single version of this game, and yet they still been dominant, right? So I think that in itself, I think if Nintendo had been like, yeah, we don't like this deal and blah, 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 then perhaps people would be like a little bit more like, okay, right? But I think the fact that they haven't stood up and complained, they're like, yeah, we'll take the deal, and that'll only be a bonus for us. We'll sell another 40 or 50 million Switches because Call of Duty might come over here. Like they're taking the high road and looking at the positive outcome for them out of this, and I think it's a win for Nintendo too, to be honest with you. If they get any Call of Duty on that machine, it's going to boost sales, right? So yeah, And that's great exposure for Microsoft as well to get more of those titles in there, because you got to remember, they are the ones who have licenses like Crash Bandicoot, right? Spyro the Dragon. They got all these family-friendly titles. Like I said, there's so
Bring
much more to this
Skylanders back.
picture. Yeah, there's so many things. Guitar Hero, like you think about it, is way more. Tony Hawk is way more than Call of Duty, and people forget that. But there's so many other titles that can bolster. And again, Microsoft will have, at the end of the day, they will have that luxury to go, we're going to put whatever on your console, as long as you guys are going to be, not douche hats. Yeah, like they're probably worried that they're going to lose more than Call of Duty. Like, I think it'll be on a case-by-case basis. They'll be very selective about what may or may not go to competing consoles, but I don't see them just going, yeah, we're going to take off all these breadwinners, right? We're going to take off all the breadwinners and just keep them away from our competition. I think it's just they'll probably continue to put crashes on other consoles. It makes total sense, right? It's just, again, if you're in the Xbox ecosystem, you can save a boatload of money, right? And if you don't, you're going to pay out the nose. That's the bottom line. That's one of those things, right? It's like sometimes buying a car from a dealership where you get the extra perks, where if you buy that said car maybe used from someone else, you don't get all the perks. It's kind of that kind of situation. You know what I mean? So, all righty. Let's move the needle, and let's Terry, are you ready, or do you need some more time?
I am ready.
Terry's been ready for 20 minutes. What are you talking about? She's like, let's go.
She's ready when the show starts. Should we start with the CMA crap? All right, let's forget it. She's ready to go. She says she's got a big indie game for us today.
This one's big, man. I've been waiting for a good time to do something like of this caliber. So this is a big one, and it's perfect because this is possibly the last show. We don't know what the future brings, so go on with a bang.
Bring it up, baby.
All right, everyone. So this one's special. Axel, pay close attention because this is definitely one that's going to pique your interest if you aren't already familiar with the game already.
I won't blink.
You won't blink. All right, and this will be the longest trailer I've ever shown. I tried to keep my trailers under a minute if I could. This is going to be the biggest one I've done. And I also, because Good Morning Xbox is known for being, PG-13, even though we, tiptoe on that line occasionally.
All the time.
This trailer has cussing and a lot of violence in it. So you have little kids that you don't want around. This is your moment. This is your only warning that this is actually a pretty mature trailer. Okay.
18 plus.
All right.
Stone, we got a call 2 blocks away. Someone triggered the silent alarm at Dow. Get your ass out of there. Most of the force is on the move.
Today is a bad day for Dower.
Any updates?
Well, we know
Cybernetics.
A team attacked Dower Synthetics at 2100 hours. They busted in, barricaded inside, and turned off the grid.
How many?
Too many.
Gear up.
Right memory 2.
Be careful.
Is this from Tecmo?
You're up to.
Here they come.
Protests, plant the charge.
What the hell
Very interesting.
They're getting away.
There's more.
12 o'clock.
Enemy spotted.
Run! Take cover. They've got a fucking tank.
We need an artillery strike here.
My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night?
Don't test me.
My girl, don't
Police!
lie to me. Tell me where.
You're not a regular cop, are you?
The city administration is practically Dower Synthetics now. You fuck with the wrong people, and I don't have the time to fuck with you motherfuckers.
Party is over.
This is not like the last time. I have powerful friends now, bitch.
detective. What a pleasant surprise. There'll be a lot to discuss.
Looking forward to it. Life is complicated. I kind of wish to rewind to the place where everything went wrong.
With Lo?
With everything.
A bunch of synthetics about to start a riot. You're the mobile riot police unit. Start acting like one.
Light him up.
They might look human. They might act human. They're not.
You don't have to do this.
Nice.
Do I need to explain how you get paid at the end of each month?
Say, talk with me, girl. I've seen top.
Out of my way. Welcome to the worst day of your life.
Metal Gear. I mean, wrong game.
Do you feel pain?
Do you?
Don't make me hurt you.
Tower Synthetics is about to pull the plug. Our citizenship claims will be revoked. Your track record won't mean shit. Outside these walls, you're a war criminal. You won't be able to see the light of day once that badge is taken away from you.
You're dumb.
Nice.
I think I'm about to get it.
Yeah, I think you just upped some sales on that one.
All right, so a lot of you in the chat were already familiar with it, but yeah, Wanted Dead. This game came out on Valentine's Day last month. So it's only
Great.
All right, so it's only been out for a month. So go ahead and check this out. It's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Because it's only a month old, it's still full price at $60. But they went and got a lot of great talent from a lot of big games to put this together.
Nice.
So it's it's a good action adventure slasher shooter hybrid game. It takes place in like a cyberpunk version of Hong Kong. So yeah, enjoy that. You can do hack and slash melee in there. It's got third person shooter in there, and it has 50 different finishing moves that you can do as well. So you're going to enjoy that. I will also mention, because, keep in mind, some of the creators of Ninja Gaiden made this game. It means it's going to have a hardcore gameplay. It's going to be difficult. You're going to get tested. So just be wary of that, because I know not everybody is able to play difficult games, but Ninja Gaiden is influenced, so it's going to be difficult. So
Dead or alive, maybe, for the melee combat.
Yeah.
Okay, one question. Is there stamina meters? Or breaking weapons?
Breaking weapons, no.
This breaking stances, probably.
Yeah, those stamina meters. Ugh.
Yeah, stamina meters and breaking weapons. Two of the things
I don't
in
like
video
those.
games that just drives me bonkers.
Same here.
You guys never perfected Guitar Hero, did you?
Oh, can't swing a sword for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, I need to work out. I need a sandwich. I gotta get an energy drink. Oh,
I need my oxygen tank.
I'm looking at you, Legend of Zelda. I can't climb I can beat big old monsters, but I can't climb a tree for like 2 minutes. Like, I'm gonna fall off. Can't make it across a small pond before he drowns. I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, some athletics or something. Jeez Louise. Yes.
So fun.
Oh man. Alrighty, that was a great one. A great way to cap off the indie spotlight. Again, it is Wanted Dead, available on all platforms. Go get your copy today. Alrighty. Scrub, I don't know if you have anything available on Game Pass. It's up to you guys. If anybody has any segments you'd like to draw attention to right now, and now is the time. No? All good, Scrub?
Are still going on Xbox?
Like I said, all the time, there's always stuff leaving Game Pass, coming to Game Pass. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of it all, but, there's been some good stuff upcoming, and there's more on the way. And for those of you who didn't know, yes, I actually have Game Pass.
That's right.
Everybody's,
we know you come crawling back.
I know.
What I don't have is a Series X anymore.
Are you playing on your Scorpio?
That was the biggest mistake. That was the biggest mistake.
I enjoy all my games on the Xbox One, which means some of them can only be played through cloud streaming, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, what do you think of the cloud, Noof?
It works pretty good, to be honest with you.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it used to be. I'll tell you that. So we're getting there. I still prefer to play stuff natively.
On the Xbox, it works fantastic.
You know, I
on
still
my
prefer
phone,
to play it natively, but at the end of the day, I guess the one bonus about the cloud is it's not soaking up a ton of memory space on your console.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's probably the bonus. And with hard drive prices being kind of stupid, especially for those Seagate ones on the Xbox right now. But by the way, Xbox, probably one of my biggest gripes is please get a third party or something or an extra. I don't know, do whatever, but get some cheaper alternatives to solid state drives, because when I can buy one that's twice as much memory for half the price on PlayStation, that's not cool. I'm sorry, that's just not cool. So the proprietary stuff can go eat a bag of dinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, proprietary is always gonna mess you up. I forgot I was muted earlier when you asked me about Game Pass. There's not really much leaving unless you're about
Ni no Kuni.
Yes.
Ni no Kuni is fantastic RPG. It leaves here in 4 days.
Agreed.
It leaves in 4 days?
Yeah, on the 31st, right? That's when it leaves.
Oh, I
At the end
wasn't
of the month, I think,
aware
is when
that
they
it
send
left
Ni no
in.
Kuni. They're taking out Ni no Kuni 1 and putting in Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, see, I was looking at Kuni 2, so that's what I was confused, because I'm like, it's in there. Okay.
We got the Ni no Kunis and
the main thing I was looking at is coming up. What's today? The 26th, coming up the 28th is MLB The Show 23. So I'm excited about MLB The Show. Of course, you got a baseball game. It's coming to Xbox. You're going to have the Negro Leagues in there as well. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that.
I'm just hoping they fix some of the like the ability to do to have tournaments and stuff, because even the last couple of versions, the servers have been really squeaky about that kind of stuff. And I hope they really
and the thing about MLB The Show, all these FIFA, all these games, Madden, unless they really want to make an update, they're not. So it's little stuff usually to these games that are changed. That's why I'm excited to see what they'll do with the Negro Leagues in there, and I really hope that they do that right. I played baseball for years and years, going all the way through high school, so learning about that, the history of it, and I do want to see how that goes. Also, which is a couple of weeks away though, Ghostwire Tokyo will be coming in on April the 12th as well. So that's a big one. The last case of Benedict Fox, that's going into April. So usually we try to do coming out in the next week or so. But yeah, MLB The Show will be coming out in 2 days. Of course, Redfall. I'm excited for Redfall. Are you excited for Redfall? That's coming in May. So there's a lot of stuff to look at. Noof already put it in there, GamePassCounter.com. Also, you can go to the app at any time, either on your laptop, PC, and then or on the Xbox. You got your Game Pass thing, and that's funny. Lemon, when I was in high school, everybody called me Ken Griffey. So I played center field, and that was my fun. So yeah, check it out. There's always stuff there. If you don't know what to play, there's over 500 games available through PC, Game Pass, Cloud, Game Pass, or on your Xbox. So if you say there's nothing to play, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry.
I like that, Noof. Yeah, you were stupid for selling your console, but not eat Tide Pod stupid. So yeah.
Trevor, didn't realize you had the screen shared already.
Yeah. So the publisher spotlight sales are still going on this week. It is EA and Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Injustice 2,
Ubisoft,
Shadow War, fantastic for $750. Mortal Kombat 11 on there, Mortal Kombat 10. Sega for Valkyria Chronicles 4, guys. This is a great tactical RPG for $6.
I've been playing that werewolf game, by the way. That's up on the werewolf game that's on the end over there.
Oh gosh, that's not a good experience.
I'm enjoying it for what it is. I mean, for what it is, I'm enjoying it.
Right. You got the Batman games each for under $5. Lots of expansions for under $5.
Oh, the whole Yakuza.
The Yakuzas are all on there. You got Vanquish. If you haven't played Vanquish, guys, this is an underappreciated gem. I'm just throwing it out there. $5.
Games gem.
The Sega Genesis Classics. Of course, me being an old Sega kid, of course, I'm going to love this. And then you got,
I've
Mad
got
Max.
the Midway Classics. I
Underappreciated.
got the Midway one. Yeah.
Mad Max, yeah, that's another great game.
If you like puzzlers with some story, Catherine, that's a interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
Very adult oriented. You got the Assassin's Creed, the new ones on sale. The Divisions on sale. More Yakuza. What was the one I was gonna do? Oh, here we go.
Splinter Cell, baby.
That's right.
Man,
you got
I
South
have
Park:
the
The
whole
Fractured
thing.
Butthole for $15. That's a steal.
I haven't played that one yet. Maybe I'll pick that one up. I haven't played that one yet.
Red Dead was my personal game of the year that it came out. $30.
I was gonna say, if you're a racing fan, please do not get rims. It's terrible.
Do not get rims.
I like bike games, but that game is so bare bones. It's so. Brutal.
I don't like getting rimmed, so yeah. It's okay.
What? Why would you not?
Right. GTA's, of course, on sale still. Of course, you got regular Red Dead for under $30, more Yakuzas and stuff. So you got a lot of good sales going on in the publisher. So you got Gotham Knights, guys. This is an underrated game in my opinion. Terry, did you like this game?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Super underrated for under $30. Get it, play it. You won't regret it. I at least I didn't. I had a really good time with it. Soul Hackers, which came out not too long ago, is on sale already for $30.
Steel Rising.
There you go.
Gotta get Steel Rising.
Right down.
Oh, there it is. Steel Rising. Yeah. But Bastille Edition. Almost a ballistic. Bastille Edition. Sonic. You got the remake, Sonic Colors Ultimate, Sonic Forces, and Sonic Mania, the 3 big ones. So, yeah, guys, there's a lot of good stuff. Oh, the game that inspired Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Revolver. On the
Yes, that's the one they need to bring back, man. That game was so excellent.
So, yeah, Max Payne, Paul.
What's that?
They're
That's
on
what I'm
sale.
about to play.
Yeah.
The first one.
You got Bully. So, guys, there's a lot of good stuff on sale. There's more than this. Ooh, Sonic
Midnight
Frontiers
Club.
on sale.
There's a good one.
Ooh, I might have to check that one out.
I think they had LA Noir up above for like $9.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA Noir.
La
up
Noir.
there.
Yeah, LA Noir is worth it. If you've never played that game,
there it is.
$20. $20.
Look at Telltale going off with all these Star Wars stuff to buy for that game. It's like crazy.
Yep.
Oh,
Tom
Lego.
Clancy's
Lego
Ghost
Star Wars.
Recon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you
Bad
know
Batch.
it's going downhill when the Lego games now have more DLC and content than some of the other games out there. It's like, what the heck?
Oh yeah, guys. If
Well,
you're
it's
into
usually
trains
just
like I am,
costumes.
Tokyo Train Life, a railway simulator. Do not get it. It is a DLC hog. Like it'll give you one train and you got a DLC. Download all the others. Do not get it.
Ugh.
Just throwing it out there.
Just like my ex, she had one
Persona
train too.
Hey man, trains are awesome. Let's see. Midnight Club.
No
I call
comment.
that train wreck.
Train wreck. And that's it. That's the sale. The publisher sale going on now.
There you go, the publisher sale. All right,
Where's Skulls and Bones? Oh no, there's not there. Sorry.
not quite here yet. Should I? You'll be out of the prison by the time that game comes out.
I'll be sailing away.
Yeah, I think that was on last week's conversation. We said Terry, but most anticipated game, and she said
Yeah.
Skull and Bones, and
I missed
So
it.
and then we could watch her getting angry as she spoke. It's just like, oh, it's Skull and Bones, but I'm ready to kill somebody. Ah.
There's always Sea of Thieves.
No.
Yes, for the billionth time. 5 years in, and we're still on the Sea of Thieves.
That's right. Season 9, baby.
Oh Lord. Make something new, please, Rare. Thank you. Very talented.
We're making season 10.
Oh, God. God, no upgrade.
It's gonna be very rare for them to create another one.
Yeah, I sort of feel like they're just that's it. That's their only game now. They're just going to be constantly the Sea of Thieves DLC team. I don't know, crazy.
Yeah, it sells, man. If it makes money.
Hey, if GTA can
Nobody
do it for
complained
15
with
years,
Epic does
yeah,
it for Fortnite.
That's
Right,
true.
yeah, I
That's not gonna
suppose,
be
right?
true.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's scary because the way some of this industry's going, just kind of have the one game and just milk it for like a decade. It's insane. Oh,
Skyrim.
Real quick, I got one question. This wasn't in the topics, but I want to know from you because I'm starting to hear a little bit of this rumbling going around. Are you guys and gals, are you ready for a mid-gen refresh? Would you buy one or not?
No.
No.
They haven't even put the console now to full potential. If they do a refresh, the game still won't catch up. They'll even be a step behind. No. Now,
Good.
folks would do it if they just want to sell more consoles, which I wouldn't be surprised if somebody eventually does that just to do that, or somebody wants to say, "Oh, now we have the most power." But none of the games we're still fighting over if stuff is going to be 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
You still got stuff that's supposed to be 4K 60, and what are the games that you're seeing that is a rarity? There's a rarity for your Twitch shooters and racers to have 120 and 1080 or 1440p. So no, there's no reason this generation should go long.
Yep.
I don't see this generation being done in 6 years.
The first 2 years, because of COVID, in my personal opinion, is almost like it didn't count, because it's only now that we're starting to see consoles trickle into stores at a half decent clip outside of the Series S and the Nintendo Switch. But as far as PlayStations, you're starting to see them become easily available. Same thing with Series X. So I just think I think we're sending the wrong message to the industry if we all decide to go pony up and get I didn't mean that like that, but if we all decide to I decide to go out and buy a mid-gen
saddle up.
We are sending the wrong message, and because all they're going to do is they're going to move the goalposts and they're going to start making targets again, higher targets, and then those consoles are going to struggle to meet those targets. And then we're always going to feel like every console we buy after like 6 months on the market is inadequate. I mean, we know that as soon as the console comes out, it's technically already dated. We know that PC hardware moves at an absolutely rate that's just insane. But I think as gamers, and again, consoles aren't really targeted at the PC side of things. They got to put something out and get with it. I mean, they told us when this generation started that these consoles were capable of this, and this. And I don't even think we've scratched the surface. I really don't think a lot of devs, as a matter of fact, who was it I just had on the show there recently? Actually, no, there's a guy that I'm talking to. He's from up here in Canada. It was a private DM actually. And he is a tech guy. Like he is actually works in the IT and the computer industry. And he was saying, like, no, he goes, these consoles are not even close. He said a lot of times the games are having problems because they're not utilizing certain core elements of the consoles because again, those variations move so much and they just focus on certain things. I can't break it down the way he did, but it made total sense. But yeah, I don't think any of us are. Apparently 5 of us on the panel said, no, we're not ready for another mid-gen. Who has any objections?
And part of it too is, I mean, the reason, between the Xbox One and the One X, that was a notable jump, and can't see that happening right now. I can't see that happening right now. That was
and that's the thing.
I can see a Slim coming out to make parts and make a game, make a console cheaper for folks to buy it at a cheaper price. I do see that coming pretty soon, either for PlayStation,
a redesign,
or
Xbox
redesign.
Yeah, I don't see that so much for Xbox. I don't see that so much for Xbox, but for PlayStation,
mm-hmm. Yes.
But you know what? We also saw what the system could capable of. Since it still have more power, look at Hellblade 2 tech demo. Yeah. So that's going to be seen when if it actually releases this year.
On the next generation of consoles, we'll see that, man.
I doubt it, because I'm like, since we're saying that it's going to be for a long, long time, by the time that game releases, I don't know.
Dude, they're not even making games for the current gen. All right, so like, no, the stuff that they showed
right.
Is fantastic, but we're not going to see it this generation. The time it's going to take for them to make games is usually 6+ years. We're going to be on the next generation by the time those games start coming out.
Yeah. Now, I'm all for if they want to make a newer, sleeker, more efficient model. Like, I've never had really an issue with them revamping it or making it better in those ways. You know what I mean? Especially because I think that both of these consoles right now, outside of the Series S, I think are really bulky and don't necessarily fit into most of our entertainment cabinets very well. I don't like the fact I have to lay down the PlayStation 5 just to get it in my cabinet. I think the Series X, and this is just my opinion, but I love the look of the Series S. I don't like the Series X. I find it looks too much like a sound woofer to me. I've actually had people walk in the house and ask me like it was a woofer or a bass machine or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
But see, the X isn't designed for look; it's designed for functionality. It is
just like you, Paul.
Oh God!
Screw you, fat boy. Okay.
Yeah,
it's our last show. You're lucky I said screw. Okay.
The Series X, I don't think it'll change. I think it needs to stay where it is.
Yep.
That's what the S is for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, they kind of already have the slim model, don't they? Yeah.
Well, they do have an Xbox Pro. It's called the mini fridge.
That's true. Doesn't work with the shit anyway. Oh man, unbelievable. Yeah, but okay. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because I've been starting to see some there's articles and YouTubers and stuff on social media kind of talking about this and people speculating that there's something in the works and it could be, but. As I said, I just think that I think it just sends the wrong message. Like this isn't the cell phone market, right? Plus, you're not getting your console for like a monthly fee. I'm pretty sure every one of us out there said, well, if you added an extra $1 to Game Pass and they're going to ship you a brand new updated console, everybody would probably be like, yeah, go for it, right? But when you just drop $600 or $700 on something and then you're going to revise it and come out again to basically do what you said that these ones should already do. Like I agree with Paul. The One X in particular was a massive jump from the Xbox One. Like, what I definitely see after having a Series X and a One X is the load time. This is the hard drive is the biggest component for me is just the speed of how this thing operates, right? But I mean, if you go back and play any of those games on the One X, like I was playing The Witcher on it just the other night, and unbelievable. Like it still looks like I can't see a ton of difference other than yes, there's some extra things like the frame rates and stuff for sure. Yes, or more consistency. It still looks and plays amazingly well on my One X. Like I was impressed. Like a lot of
the load time is the part that kills because I had to go back to my One X after
the loads. Dude, you're not even kidding.
And I found
quick resume.
I miss quick resume so bad when I had to go back to my One X for a while. It was like, oh my god,
resume is the goat.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, okay. So I think it's unanimous between us and the chat that nobody wants another refresh. Stretch these consoles out as long as you can. Maximize them at least. Give us their full potential, and then we'll talk about something. So, by then, we're probably ready for the next gen. And again, like the last 2 years, personally, I think you can almost toss them out the window because it wasn't a great start for any company because they came right on the heels of COVID. So, outside of Nintendo, which I think made out the best from a hardware perspective, but that's also because the Switch had a large part of their production pipeline already flowing because it was, that machine had already been out. So I think they had a one-up on that, which is why they were able to keep supply up. Plus, of course, the demand for the Switch, high. I don't think it was quite like the same craze that we saw for PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X consoles.
The Switch boomed during the pandemic because that's when Animal Crossing came out. So everybody was getting one.
That's right. You're right.
And price.
Nintendo made it really well. Yeah, that's the craziness. It didn't drop anything.
Yeah, but even without them dropping, it was still cheaper than it.
That's true.
Series X or 5.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, when you're the cheapest option on the market, no matter what the power is to the average gamer, you look a lot more attractive. Price drives purchase. All right.
But it also had good games.
Yes. Agreed.
Mr. Axel, I got to ask you, do you need to get out of here? Because I think you said you had to leave early. I think we're at that time.
Yeah, I still got 1 more hour, man. It's not 10:30 Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
don't know if you saw this, but Fahim Scott said that Noof needs an Xbox Mini Fresh mid-gen refresh.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
One that actually
absolutely.
chills.
Yeah,
More power.
Let's sign a contract with Yeti to make the next one, okay? So, yeah. Alrighty.
Well,
Let's
if
move
Yeti
in-
makes it, it's going to cost like 4 times as much.
Oh,
Okay.
that is true. You'll never afford it. It'll cost more than the Series X itself. Yeah, if Yeti makes it.
That's right.
They got coolers in my store. I shit you not. I work in the retail biz, and they got coolers in my store that are over $600 Canadian.
Yes.
For a cooler.
Nope.
A cooler.
Nope.
Something
You
you
might as
put
well take a
meat
full
and beer
refrigerator.
into. You know what
Is
I'm
it
saying?
They
made
are
by
like
X-
full
is it made-
refrigerators when you put ice in them.
Is it
Look,
made by
I can put
Microsoft?
I can put my meat into a hooker for half the price.
Oh,
But we should keep it cool.
No, probably not. It'll probably spoil faster than the Xbox mini fridge. Sorry, Gaming After Dark humor coming out. Should I? What's going on, brother? You still with us?
yes, I
Yeah,
am.
okay. Just wanted to make sure you're still hanging
Oh
out
no
with
no
us
no
there.
no! I'm actually listening.
The probation officer's not coming at you.
No.
And for those who aren't
everything is
acquainted,
fine. Everything is fine.
for those of you guys who are unacquainted, he's on a house arrest or on probation. It's a running joke we've had since pretty much the first couple of weeks of Good Morning Xbox, because he used to look in a like a little dingy dungeon when he used to podcast, and a lot of us would make jokes that kind of looked like he was in sort of like an old jail cell. And then, of course, Shaddai, good guy that he is, took it and ran with it, and even went out and got like a costume with the jail cell suit and everything, and would wear it on shows, and it was
I
hilarious.
should have wore that.
Oh, not only that, when he was at work, he would be sitting behind a bunch of boxes and stuff. It looked like he was in the prison kitchen, ducking behind the guy.
He was guarding the toilet paper.
Yeah.
I knew Terry was gonna mention that because you're the one who actually brought
The
it up.
toilet paper, man.
Dreadpulse is Gaming After Dark humor. More reason to bring it back. Yeah, maybe. All right, yeah. Let's move into the next topic, and we will talk about something that was a very small snippet of our week, but it definitely got us excited for what the next level or next gen performance looks like. Unreal 5 engine has been making a lot of impressions on people. I don't know if you guys saw the phenomenal truck demo where they had a Rivian truck going through this like jungle.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is all I can say. Did that ever look good? But anyway, we saw how this new metahuman technology that's through Unreal 5 is now making motion capture almost a thing of the past, or a different way of doing motion capture with absolutely lifelike realism, where you cannot tell the difference between a game character and the real life, as we saw by seeing cinema come to life before our eyes. If you guys saw this week, the real actor Melina Jurgens.
What? I thought he said cinema.
It sounded like it.
Yeah.
Cinema.
It
So
sounded
we
like
saw-
cinema to me too. Yeah.
Cinema.
Like,
So we saw
Not at
Melina-
the club. Her name is not Cinnamon.
Melina Jurgens come to life before our eyes. As she got into character, the screen fades out, and when she came back, it was just like she never left. The only difference is she had some dirt on her face somewhere along the lines, and of course went through her lines, and there you have it. So obviously a sample of the new tech. Hopefully we're going to see that live inside of the Hellblade 2, which I highly suspect will definitely become one of Xbox's showcase pieces for what the technology can do, what the Series X can personally do in particular. I'm sure the game will look and run pretty damn good on the S, but we want all the bells and whistles with the Series X version, obviously. So what did you guys and gals make of this phenomenal tech? And does this really get you pumped for Hellblade 2? Do you think we might even see it sooner than later? Who wants to go? Should I?
I'll go real quick. I know I saw the way. Well, we saw the trailer about it's not cinema, it's cinema. The change between a real person and the game. That was a really good trailer by Ninja Theory. Then I got curious on what else Ninja Theory brought to the table, which it was that metahuman. And the guy was like, since it takes, all this equipment from the motion cap and all that. So they were trying to They were trying to bring something up like it's for them to make it like a shorter time for motion cap. Once he said now you get to use a phone, but you can connect it to the computer so you could get all those files from different angles of your face and all that. And when I saw that person was like, you don't have to have the same person, or I mean, different person due to their hair or face features and all that. You could change it right there on the spot. And that actually blew my mind. Like, you see the stats because it will actually motion capture your lips and all that. It was like spot on. And Ninja Theory is one of those, how you call it, Cinderella Studios. They're under the radar, but their tech savviness and all that impresses me. It actually does. And I cannot imagine when they start utilizing that type, the metahuman technology for their Project Mara for future. I can't wait for that. Everybody will say Ninja Theory is probably the next Naughty Dog for Xbox. So I want to see what else they can bring. But like I said, I guess they use that for Hellblade 2. I can't wait. The rest of it, I never got the chance to see it, but especially that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
Nice. That's very impressive. Terry, how about you? Did Senua any kind of feeling and reaction to that whole thing and kind of where this is going?
I didn't watch the part for Hellblade, but I did watch the earlier parts, and it definitely makes me. You could really tell how this is going to shape games like Forza Horizon, because they're always, they always try to be at the top when it comes to having all of the. When it comes to for their games, having the really good reflections on the cars and having the water physics and everything. It's going to be great, and it'll enhance the environments too, because Forza Horizon is a great game, but even they suffer when it comes to their environments. The movement of the grasses and the trees isn't quite where it should be. It's better than a lot of other games, but still not where it should be. So this is going to give them the opportunity to really show off, because the Forza games always kind of show off. You know what I mean? So it's going to be great for that.
Indeed, it'll definitely be great tech to be used in some of the new games. What's the engine that the Horizon games run on now? Forza Horizon. It's not Unreal,
Forza
is
Tech.
it? Forza Tech,
Forza
right?
Tech, yeah.
Yeah, that's where it always gets tricky, is trying to get people to switch over.
Force that tech.
They'll either switch over, or they'll slowly start trying to find ways to integrate those features into their engine.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you can use your own engines, though, it's a boatload of money saved, I guess, at the end of the day, because when you got to license out this tech, and I said it in the chat, I said this would be an interesting thing now, but with the whole Microsoft, Activision thing, potentially will Sony now try to increase their stake in Epic Games and the Unreal Engine, and then potentially, hold people hostage for licensing out the tech. I don't know. You never know. You never really know, because they are a stakeholder in Epic Games, for those of you who don't know, and the Unreal Engine. So, who knows? That's a question for another day. But, they
have to have that extra money to have a majority stake in it. So,
yeah, because I think the Unreal Engine,
they just benefit from making money, but they won't be able to make all those rules for that.
No, for sure. But anything's possible. Harry Balls X says, I have the Series S. I'm not expecting much. Kay Asante basically told us to keep our expectations a little bit in check, because it was a demo running on a 4090.
On PC.
$1,600 for the GPU alone. Yeah, he's right. But look, we also saw, we saw a little demo of Hellblade, last year, that looked like it was supposed to be in engine, in game, and it looked phenomenal.
Oh, the part where she was abusing the poor crippled giant. Yeah.
And that looked pretty crazy then. And and the first Hellblade, even today, still looks phenomenally fantastic. You know what I mean? So I have high hopes, and it is Ninja Theory, very talented studios. So let's hope good things come. Any further thoughts on Hellblade 2, Senua? What you think of the metahuman and how amazing it's creating these detailed faces and animations?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised on that Labs use that. Remember, everybody's switching to Unreal Engine 5, so they're going to be sharing a lot of technology there.
Go ahead, Scrub.
I think it's piggybacking off our last conversation we had about next gen or mid gen refresh. These are some of the first things we're seeing as far as like just pushing people mouth wide open. They're going like, wow, this is what you're doing with this, this, or this. We haven't really been seeing this coming through with this current gen. So I don't think that we'll have anything like a next gen or a mid gen refresh, because I don't think gamers are going to ask for more until you start passing the expectations of what we're seeing right now, what they're showing with this metahumans thing, some of the stuff that you're seeing getting dribbled out with Forza Motorsport. It's amazing what they're going to do. Yes, we have to tamp down some because, yes, it is definitely running on PC, and they're going to show it in the best of the best life. And that's perfect for all those people who have, their $3,000 PCs on Twitter. Everybody, about 90% of PC owners on Twitter have $3,000 rigs. So I'm happy for them.
It's due to those spaces. It's those spaces making money.
Yeah. So I'm just happy to see that, and it gets me hyped for the game. I do want to tamp my expectations just a little because we have no clue when this game is coming out still. So we'll just move accordingly. But I do love what I see. I want gaming to be pushed forward like this. I like to see that the developers are doing this stuff, and it just gets me happy because Unreal Engine is one of the most used engines. Each iteration that they come out with, how many were on Unreal Engine 4, and then some of them you can move some of your stuff, your assets from 4 and transfer it over to 5. It just makes me real excited for what's in the future for gaming.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Unreal 5. I think Fortnite is the only one that's using Unreal 5, and even they released that Unreal 5, essentially Forge, you know, and it looks great. It looks like they're trying to get more indies on, which is fantastic for Epic. But that Senua demo really, in my opinion, stole the cake. If you remember, last year, maybe a year and a half ago, there was that Matrix demo that you could download. And that was phenomenal. The load time was almost non-existent. Unreal 5 is just doing some great lighting work, some great rendering work. And then you get into Senua, and it basically looks like a movie.
Yes, it does.
I also want to temper my expectations because if you go back to the Unreal 3 demo or the Unreal 4 demo, they all looked fantastic. And not until the end of the end of those engine life cycles did games start looking like the demos. So it does look fantastic, but again, I kind of always temper my expectations when it comes to Unreal because, of course, they're going to show you what they're going to put their best foot forward, but still, it's definitely going to knock anything we have currently out of the water, and hopefully, you'll get to use some of these features that these consoles have because we haven't even tapped into them, and maybe the reason that we haven't tapped into them is because of the engine. So hopefully Unreal changes all that. So I'm very excited for the future of gaming, for the way they're going to look, the way they're going to sound, because wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's a really Unreal thing we've seen.
Unreal is unreal.
Yeah, it's very unreal.
Super unreal.
Royal Boyle, 78, what's going on, brother? Fahim Scott, what's going on? We got John 907 in the building. We got some amazing people here this morning. Jacob Novak hanging out with us as well. We had Dragons TV in here. Kaya Sandi's been here. Dragonheart Yobi in the building. We got Nick's hanging out with us. Happy Cloud Gamer, Ice Queen Gaming, man, the list goes on. Incredible people here this morning. Casket Repair has been in the house. Doggy Dog is always in the background barking around. Let's go. Harry Balzac. Good people in the chat this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Up to 49. The last 3 weeks.
Thank you. Welcome.
The last 3 or 4 weeks, man, our numbers have been much higher in the live show, which is fantastic. That's good to see. So thank you so much for all that, everybody.
To share it
and like it.
Just imagine a remade Path of Neo. Absolutely, yeah. A new Matrix game with those kind of visual fidelity. My lord.
If people doesn't press that like button, I'm gonna get the security guard.
Yeah, a new Matrix game can't suck any worse than that last Matrix movie. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? So what happens when you make a sequel that technically doesn't need a sequel, and then you start making just really bad script writing? Oh boy, yeah, it wasn't a great movie. I own it, but it's just like one of those that you watch and you're just like, I'm gonna watch it just because I'm a fan. Yeah. Alrighty. We're approaching almost a 2-hour mark of the show at about 15 minutes left. Is there anything on the accessibility or type cloud fronts that any of you guys would like to bring up?
Not really. No.
All good.
Some cloud players came into it just a few days ago that I didn't know existed. That Microsoft signed some deals with. But the real question I have is, now that Amazon Luna is available in Britain, are they going to offer Amazon a 10-year Call of Duty deal? That would be interesting.
They're going to give it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many millions of people just putting it on Nintendo and all these different companies as far as cloud gaming and different... That is so much extra money that is going to be brought into the system. It's going to be ridiculous. And that's not counting King. That's not counting anything they do with cloud. Because, I mean, King is a big deal, how much money that brings in every day. But to be able to have the money that Call of Duty brings in, and then you just dump 100 million plus players into the fold, the ability to play that's just unheard of. It's ridiculous.
Microsoft's next marketing, when this all goes through, is to get Oprah Winfrey and be like, you get a copy, and you get Call of Duty, and you get Call of Duty. And then when they get to Sony, she goes, oh, but not you, you stingy bitch.
You know who's going to be doing that? Lulu. She's going to be the next one who's going to be doing the marketing.
Lulu, yeah. She's going to get hired over at Microsoft. They're going to have her as the big wig. Look out, Aaron Greenberg.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, she might be the next hit over there. Who knows? Yeah,
that's right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Any topics or anything anybody want to bring up?
Nope.
Well, since this, and again, I'm just going to say, since this could potentially be the final show, I am leaving this open for the future, and I know some of you are kind of wondering why not be here. And I guess the best way to describe this, and to do it in a gaming after dark kind of term, because I did sell my Series X and I don't have the latest and greatest Xbox technology, which means I'll be playing less Xbox games most likely over the course of the next while. I just feel it's like, not that I don't love this podcast. I definitely do. I love it, and I've had lots of great compliments on it in this fantastic panel. But it's kind of like, it's like a virgin trying to tell you about sex. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to say it's an Xbox podcast and have it in the name when technically I'm not sort of invested in the platform. I know that sounds kind of weird because in some cases you can talk about it, but I don't. I just feel like I'm being that I'm being, what do you call it? Not genuine, something like that, or
disingenuous.
Disingenuous
yes.
is a great way to. Yes, thank you for the word. Disingenuous to the listeners, to the people here. If I'm going to get into conversations that at some point I got to look at you guys and go, I can't speak on it. I can't speak on it. I'm the host after all. I'm not a panel member. So if I can't speak on things and I can't give you an honest opinion because I don't have the platform or I don't have the tech, I feel that's you know what I mean? That's not right for everybody. So, and it's not right to the panel. It's not right for me. It's not right for the podcast. So again, I'm saying, that's why I said potentially last, because who knows? We all know how NewfNukem works. And who knows? Within 2 months' time, we could have a Series X again, and I can guarantee if I get another one, it'll be I won't be leaving again. But regardless, it is what it is. I've made my choice. I stand by it, but it is what it is. So yeah, so we'll see what happens in the future, and then if I put out the feelers and the panel is still willing to continue on, then by all means I will continue on. I'm not this is not a cancellation. I'm not going to say this is done, it's never coming back. And if the panel decides, well, you know, because I took a break last year and I understand how frustrating this probably is for them, but you know, it's up to them. Like nobody's holding them here. I'm very grateful that they've been able to. This is 89 episodes in. I think Axel, you handled the show for how many episodes on your own? About I don't know, probably
6 months worth. So
yeah,
whatever,
6 months.
24 episodes, 24 episodes.
So a large chunk of this, Axel took it over and did an absolute magnificent job of it, by the way. So I've already said ball's in his court. If he wants to continue on again, he's welcome. But again, I don't want to put any pressure on him because it is, again, getting up this early and taking everybody's time. But, you know, we even managed to drag Paul back into the fray. He wasn't planning to come back, but he did. So there you go. I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll call it as it is, and we'll see what happens for the future, right? Never say never, right? So we got a question here from the Happy Cloud Gamer. Let's see here. Question for the panel. We know the hands off with the first-party studios. How do you think ABK will understand Microsoft? Well, how do you think ABK will understand Microsoft do toxic history? Huh?
How do you think ABK will do to understand Microsoft due to the toxic history?
Like
my
trying
translation.
to rewrite whatever happened in the past. The way I'm understanding is, remember,
Clean
Microsoft had a
house.
bad history from canceling, like you said, cleaning house, canceling all the studios, Ensemble, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they have a good list of people who are extremely problematic, or if they don't have it now, they're going to have it first day. And there's going to be a lot of phone calls, text messages, emails, pack up your stuff. It's time to go. And I think that's going to help more than anything to gain the trust of the studios. If they keep hands off, that's great. But I think doing that first and get rid of our favorite CEO, Bobby. I think that'll go a long way into solidifying the trust. I think a lot of people from the reports felt unheard and just didn't feel good in the environment. And we've all heard the stories and the different write-ups. If you don't do that first before you do anything else, that I think that's setting a bad precedent, and the folks won't trust you as much. They've already said about letting the unions stay in there. They've said about how they're sharing it. They're not locking down studios to as far as like Call of Duty, just straight exclusive. There's a lot of different things that are going on, a lot of different unions and parties that deal with developers are backing this themselves. So if they lose the trust, that's going to be bad. So hopefully they'll do what's right.
Nice. You see what I put up on screen? I could call it the Xbox podcast.
Xbox podcast.
Oh shit. We're gonna do a question and A before we get out of here. We got a few minutes here. So anybody in the chat, or if you have a question for anybody on the panel or a generalized question, feel free. Terry's getting some love down there right now from old Cheddar. What's going on, Cheddar?
Where's your cat? The one that you yelled.
Yeah. He's in a bowl of soup right now. Yeah. Cat soup. No, my cats are great, man. They're awesome. They're little shitheads at times, but they're awesome.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, any questions from the chat? If you have a question,
Boogeyman has one.
Boogeyman, yes, okay, perfect. Let's bring it up on the screen, shall we? He says, what are everyone's plans after this show for their own channels or otherwise? That is a great question. Let's find out what everybody is up to and perhaps what they plan to do in the upcoming weeks. Let's start with Scrub. We'll go around the circle here.
I plan to start streaming more. A lot of times when I go and throw up my Twitch stream, I do 100 times worse on my games when the Twitch stream is up,
Mm.
even when when there's like 3 people watching, which is, it doesn't make me nervous, but for some reason I get in the hardest matches and I do the worst. So that's a lot of times why you see me posting on Twitter. Here's my short here. Here's my short here. I might start a Instagram page or whatever that are just straight shorts, or do a YouTube page that are straight shorts as well. But yeah, I still plan to play the games. I still am on our podcast at night with Gaming Beyond the Box with Dreadpool, Wilmy, and all the crew there. So I still will be doing that. So I will be around. There's no plan for me now going just yet, or anything going, oh, I'm a free agent, I'm about to jump to this podcast or that podcast. I have no plans for that right now, but you never know what happens. Just playing these new games, having some fun, and you just see how it goes later on.
Absolutely. Great answer. Yes, great answer. CoolcatTerri?
I guess,
you're just gonna sleep in on Sundays or fix it?
No. Keep in mind, because of my 12-hour work schedule, up through Saturday, sleeping in for me is literally waking up at 7. That's literally sleeping in for me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna focus more on doing stuff with my YouTube, with my car YouTube channel, and then just hope that maybe the show will have a comeback. If it doesn't have a comeback, then I'll probably become a free agent. Unlike Scrub, I probably will, because I did Twitch for 7 years. I've been there, done that. I'm kind of done with it. So if Skull and Bones ever comes out, then I might go back to Twitch. But Twitch is on hold until Skull and Bones comes off, so that might be indefinitely. So who knows?
There you go. We already know what her plans are. Yeah, and like I said, Terry has been the most consistent panel member. We've had an amazing panel. Like, everyone here is amazing, but Terry has by far and away been the most consistent, which is amazing. Like, I think she's missed one episode maybe, and she had a technical difficulty, but she was always when I send out the link in the morning, she's up. She's definitely up, because she's usually the first one in as soon as the link goes out. But to everybody on this panel, I can't thank them enough, but I'll say more. How about you, Shaddai? Obviously, you stepped away from us a few months back there to just focus on different things. How has that been going, and what are your plans in the near future here?
Okay, right now I'm working on doing podcasts in Spanish. So that's, working slowly but surely, because Walmart messed me up on one order. So it kind of delayed a lot of the things.
Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart.com. So I ordered something and it has been already more than a week and it keeps saying delayed. So I'm like, God, geez. So right now I'm thinking of doing the podcast in Spanish. Also, I'll be streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time until 10:30. Like I said earlier, I was streaming Blacktail, and pretty much I was working on my achievement, so I did 100% on that. So right now I'll be streaming on Twitch. I'll be on Twitter. All over the place. So yeah, so I'm still gonna be working on that. And like I said, if opportunity presents itself, and if Nuke decides to come back, of course I'm gonna come back. So I'm always open for that.
Very good. How about you, Paul? We know that you're certainly one of the busiest panel members here. It's amazing that you can get out of bed at all for Sunday morning show. Like I said, usually when you wrap this, when you end up on the Flemish experience, and then throughout the week you're on a so you went from pretty much having almost no podcasts to being, it seems like, almost everywhere. So.
Yep, and that may happen again. So we'll see. Oh boy. But yeah, I hate to say it, I am going to enjoy being able to sleep in on Sundays again. What can I say?
Well, if this podcast comes back, we may have to shift the time a little bit. Maybe we'll boost it up about an hour. But it depends on how that works out with everybody's schedule. Again,
sleep is understandable.
That's a big if. But yeah, hey, I got to get up the earliest.
That's true. Yeah, he's on the West Coast. Yeah,
I'm at about 6 o'clock getting this shit ready. So.
So, and then of course, yeah, because like I do that, and then on Mondays I do my Xbox Ambassador thing. On Tuesdays I do Retro Renegades. On Wednesdays I do, well, once Spooky's back, because Spooky's recovering from his brain surgery. So, and they did find one, so he will be back. No, I'm kidding. So, and then on Thursdays I do 4GQTV on top of all the interviews and stuff that we do as well. So yeah, I keep busy, and you know, even yesterday or Friday I was on Wise Old Gamer Show with his new crew. So
Nice.
Somebody has to keep Wise in line. That's why they keep having me back. Because I'm not afraid to tell him to shut up and let me talk.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so I'm sure I'll be finding ways to keep busy. I am trying to do stuff on my own channel as well, but I just on my own channel I just stream gameplay. I don't do anything really fancy.
Right.
But like yesterday, I streamed Diablo for 10 hours. So
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
I totally know what Scrub's talking about too. Like when I stream, I find it difficult because that's why I don't do a lot of first-person shooters. First-person shooters and co-op games are the two hardest things I find to stream because I'm trying to concentrate, but I'm also trying to engage with the chat because the last thing I hate is getting on there and I'm not engaging with the people that are watching the show. But then when you're shooting,
right,
it really takes you out of it because you got two mental mindsets going. You're trying to be entertaining, but then you're also trying not to get shot or trying to do tactical things. And then when it's co-op and you need communication with your teammate, it's just like, man, this is really hard.
It takes practice. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at it, but it does take practice to split your attention between the two.
Absolutely.
Also depends on how your setup is.
Racing was always my challenge because like I did a lot of racing streams and my chat got pretty active, so it was a lot more of me. They always said I was always texting and driving because I was always reading the chat, and then I would be crashing a lot more.
That's hilarious.
Proof that it actually does what happened. Yeah.
They'll be like, "Stop texting and driving." I'm like, "Well, then stop fucking talking."
Yeah,
You know?
I look away and get shot in the head. Yeah.
See, and I have mine set up so my chat is on my screen, so I don't have to turn my head or anything. I just have to flick my eye.
Right.
And I can see my chat at any given point, but that takes a little bit of a setup, you know.
Yeah. I learned on PSVR 2 the other night too that apparently the chat overlays do not come up on YouTube, so I think you have to turn on the voice to chat option or something.
Yeah, you can do that, but I always found it to be for me personally. I've done that. I found it to be annoying because people will they'll go out of their way to abuse it and to make it annoying, especially with emojis and stuff because it reads them out. But yeah, no, like it's just I always put my chat first over my gameplay. And like, I have a great setup. I have 3 monitors. I have a great setup. It's just the chat will always come before my gameplay.
Absolutely. And Axel, obviously, with his lovely little podcast on Friday nights. But any other plans or anything? What are you going to do with your Sunday morning? Go to church?
I might. You know, I do love the Lord, even though I curse a lot. You know, right now, you know, as you know, Iconic Video Games Podcast, we just got a new panel member, and she is fantastic, Death Dealer. So I'm going to be focusing on getting her comfortable and, you know, making sure that the content keeps flowing out of that one. And I am trying to get more shorts out. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been putting a lot of more shorts out, especially in my gameplay shorts, playing Wo Long. And other things are in the pipeline, but really, most of the stuff that I have going on has to do with my personal life, which is why I'm working so hard, because I want to get that going. You know, trying to get some financial independence out there instead of, you know, working for someone else, working for myself. Now that I'm 41, you know, get as many sick days as I want. So I might do another show. I've been thinking about it, but if I do another show, it's technically going to be on shorts. And it's not 100% sure if I'm going to do it yet because it is a lot of work. Every time you add more, it's so much work. And pre-recorded videos to me take 10 times more effort than live videos.
Yep. All the production time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I did a little, I did a pre-recorded show with Doggy for when I was going to be on vacation. And we recorded for an hour, for 40 minutes, but it took me roughly 6 hours to get that going after all the editing is done. So it's a lot of work. So right now I'm just gonna, enjoy my Sundays off and mow my lawns on Sunday mornings, I guess. I hear the lawnmowers going. I feel a little jealous. I want to get out there and mow my lawn. I can't be the only one with the lawn.
You could do lawn mowing simulator.
I don't need a simulator. Thanks. I got the real deal over here. And I am one of those guys that takes a lot of pride in his yard. So
Indeed.
I gotta get it nice and pretty.
All right. Well, I'm sure everybody will find something to do on their Sunday mornings, like I said, until further notice. Again, to the amazing chat, without you, this wouldn't be possible. Wouldn't be worth getting up for in the mornings to do this show. Hello, KY Bob, the panel, or I guess you should say the host of Game Set Live on Thursday nights, which you can find me. By the way, he has posted it in a chat. So yes, it's not the last of NewfNukem. I will be over there to chat certain things. And again, when topics come up that obviously I can't relate to, I will just have to, I'll just have to pass. But the difference there, I'm also not a host, and my show is, and that show is not called Xbox. It is about multiple platforms. All right, Dreadpool, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here, man. Thanks for all the love and support, Doggy Dog, everybody that's been here. You're amazing. We're going to do the outros. Let everybody get out of here. We're going to start with Scrub. He's got to get going. He's got stuff to do. So, Mr. Scrub, first of all, thank you for all your contributions and everything, man. You've been absolutely dynamite. People have loved having you here. You articulate well. And it's always great to have you on the show. So let people know. Where
come on, if you're coming through.
What?
I'm on my phone too. So sorry.
All right.
Yeah, but
like you articulate well. What the hell was that?
Ending of the show. That was a perfect ending for the show.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as disturbing as the walk by that Paul had that time, but yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm. No, but I appreciate everybody for everything. This has been awesome, great time. Thank you for the opportunity, reaching out for this, even starting. I never thought there was something I'd be doing. It was always something I liked to do or wanted to do. So it's been great. Like I said, nobody's going anywhere. Like I said, we still do podcasts. I'll still be around. I still play my video games, still be on Twitter. But yeah, I do have to run. So I appreciate everybody. I hate to run. I wish I could say goodbye to everybody, each and all personally. But like I said, we'll still be around. You'll still see me in the chats and podcasts and everything. So we appreciate it. 89 episodes. That is a lot longer than some podcasts ever make it. So that is almost 2 years. So that's pretty good for us. So I appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good day. I got to run.
The one, the only, smooth talking, fast walking, sharp shooting Scrub Nurse, guys. And again, all the descriptions for everybody is in the chat. So if you're looking to kind of stay in touch with what they have going on, make sure you follow them on social media where they'll keep you up to date. All righty. And let's get down to the next person. Let's go with Eternal Shaddai. Like I said, you got a little stuff going on. So let people know where they can find out what you next when you're not hanging out in the prison, cell block 22.
I'm probably gonna go somewhere else. Yeah. No, people can find me on Twitter, Eternal Shaddai, right there. So most of the time I'm there. Like I said, streaming also. Soon to be doing podcast in Spanish, but that doesn't mean hey, it's only in Spanish. Nah, you could write in English too. So I'm not,
I'll be writing in English. I'll be writing. I can't understand a word you guys are saying. I'll be writing.
Remember technology. There's always Google Translate. No, stop. No, but first of all, it's great to be back. Though. It's great to be back. I feel like I'm actually, pretty much back to the show. So I could say it's great to be back home. Good luck for for everybody. Good luck. And like I said, Twitter, Twitch, and see you until next time.
Absolutely. Well, we loved having you here, Shaddai. We certainly missed you when you've been away, and we've always said the seat is warm for you should you ever return. So
I will.
Like I said,
that's because Noof kept farting in your seat, dude. That's the only
for some reason the cushion was kind of green, and I thought it was mold, but it wasn't.
You took a good sniff.
No, thank you. No.
Good to have you back for the show. Eternal Shaddai, guys, show him some love and support. Go support him, like I said, especially. I'm glad that he said he wants to articulate and get stuff out there and cater to the Hispanic community. They need more of it, not less of it. So definitely support this wonderful guy. He's a great human being, and he's a lot of fun to play games with, too. So we got to get some more community game nights on the go here in the future. Thanks
we
again.
Go wild. We go wild when that actually happens.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, I want to get back on that more regularly too, but we'll see what happens. So take it easy, Shaddai.
Same to you.
All righty. Down to the final four here. Let's go with CerebralPaul.
Yep. I already kind of said my spiel earlier, but so you can find me. Just follow me on Twitter if you want to know all the different shows I'm on, when, where, and how, and all that stuff. At CerebralPaul1 on Twitter. And that's about it, really. And thanks for having me back on the show. I did take a break for a while, and I decided to come back when you came back. And I'll probably do it again. But yeah, I will enjoy being able to sleep in on Sundays because I like to stay up late on Saturdays and play games. And a lot of times I don't get to bed till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Which means for me, like maybe 4 hours sleep. So yeah.
Absolutely. And
but I always have fun with you, Noof. I will miss doing shows with you between this and the other one where we were allowed to cut loose a little bit. We always had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we definitely cut loose, and I cut loose in more ways than one.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, I love being able to do that with you guys, and just let my sense of humor, my freak flag fly, as it were,
Well, Paul, we love you, man. And my best friend Seamus Kelly, he told me one night off the air after, because he comes out to the podcast, and he said to me, man, I really love that CerebralPaul guy, man. He cracks me the frig up. He's so you've had a lot of compliments from my actual inner circle, which is good.
Oh, good.
You don't get all that biasy kind of stuff or people just trying to blow smoke up your ass. No, he thinks you're amazing. And I said, well, there's a reason I asked Paul to be on my podcast, because I like again what you bring to the table, and to be able to speak again on topics that again a lot of us don't understand because you live them every day. We don't, and that's why again I love this panel, because we bring in different experiences and takes that you're not going to find everywhere else, because everybody brings something different to the table here, and that's why I've loved this panel. I never had to make changes to it because you guys are amazing. So thanks again, Paul,
I said to you when I came in, I said I don't want a yes man panel. I won't do it.
No,
I don't go out of my way to disagree. I don't go out of my way to disagree, but if I do disagree, I'm going to let you know.
Absolutely. Yes, we definitely know, Paul. Absolutely, and I appreciate you for it, man. You only agitated me that once, and I went off the handle. All good stuff, man. Great times, man. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right. We are down to last two. I will go with Axel 1324. Axel, my brother, you kind of already spit out the beans, but you've been dynamite here as well. As I said, kudos to you. Kudos for stepping up when I needed you, and let people know where they can catch up with you and your growing platform.
Yeah, guys. So, Noof, first I'm going to start off with you, because I was a listener until you let me guest on Gaming After Dark. And, I was on there about, I think, a total of 3 times. And when you invited me to this podcast, it was at the time I was working on getting my own podcast going. And I think you can see the influence that you've had on my own podcast. I talk to the chat much like you do. Of course, I engage with them with my own little flash and flare, right? But still, I don't try to have an overly serious conversation either. It's all about having fun and having a good time, and that's exactly what I was aiming for, and that's exactly it. And I always say that you're my podcasting mentor, that you gave me that opportunity, you gave me that voice, and I got to tell you, hosting is hard, guys. It's a lot of work. So shout out to New for not only hosting Good Morning Xbox, but also hosting the fabulous Gaming After Dark that you gave so many people voices on that, so many great people in the community. Titan Drago was on there. Doggy Dog, my fellow panel member, was on there first. The Mag, he was on there first before anybody. So Nufu is really a funnel for talent. He could tell when you were going to be someone. And so shout out to Noof and all the work he does for this community, for the Xbox podcasting community. So first off, thank you so much, Noof.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Axel. Appreciate all the kind words you've been doing. Absolutely fantastic. And like I said, you got a little gem of a podcast that I enjoy thoroughly on my Friday evenings when I get home from work. Like I said, right off the bat, cheers you up. It's always that fun, easygoing show that has gaming at its heart and its focus, but just that playfulness of the whole panel, the dynamic is great. You guys fantastic. So yeah, Doggy Dog got his first start over with us, and Axel got his first start with us. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think for the most part I've got a pretty good judge of character. I've always said that, and coming from the radio background, you kind of know who has a dynamic or who brings something different to the table. And I'm glad that I was able to, like I said, just get fortunate enough that when I picked you guys and gals, that I was like, yeah, this is a great mix right here. So thanks, man, for being a part of the show.
Thank you. And of course, shout out to the fellow panel members, Shaddai, Scrub Nurse, CerebralPaul, and CoolcatTerri. Because when I was hosting, those guys gave me zero issues, really. And so it was really, this panel has just gotten along so well. And, I think I may pick up the reign. I'll talk to you later about it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, who knows? I might not even gone that long. If NewfNukem has anything to say about it, it could be a couple of months.
Right. See you in June, See you in June.
I know I was joking on my Twitter, but when I said about the Hellblade, I said when Hellblade drops or something, I'll probably use NewfNukem and get another Series X or whatever.
Right. Sell that PSVR and get yourself an Xbox.
That's right. Just get rid of that thing. No, man, that's the thing. You can take the Xbox away from the player, but you can't take the player out of the Xbox. Is that how it goes?
That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, something like that. I'm always Xbox. I bleed green, baby. Deep down inside, it's always been Xbox. So, that's why I picked an Xbox podcast to start than anything else. But I have fun with all the platforms. You guys know that. Anybody knows that I'm definitely one of the most actual neutral gamers there really is, like a real neutral, because I literally promote both platforms, and people don't understand that. Like some guys say they got PlayStations and they love it as much, but you never see them show a screenshot. You don't see them play a game from the PlayStation on their feeds. It's like it's all Xbox all day, every day. But I'm neutral. I love PlayStation. Well, you don't show it though. But anyway, that's off on another topic. That could be a podcast in itself. But anyway, Thanks again, Axel, for everything, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for everything.
All right, let's get down to here. She is. And I got to say, first of all, thanks to Big Mike, right? Because if it wasn't for Big Mike, I don't know if I would have found CoolcatTerri. And I was shocked when I sent out the invitation that she accepted, because she knew me from a hole in the ground. I knew her from a hole in the ground. And, despite everything, I know her taste in games is probably vastly different than mine, or perhaps some of the panel, but we still have a lot of common things. And first of all, she's been always fantastic, always on time, very consistent, and she loves cats. And I cannot not love a cat person. Okay. So Cheddar and Biscuit.
Orange cat for bonus points.
Orange cat too for bonus points. Yes, but no, Terry has brought a lot of energy, spunk, charisma, great knowledge on gaming. Like I said, even when she doesn't play some of the stuff, she still stays in tune with a vast majority of it. And it's like a lot of people. She's smart enough to know, like, if I don't know it, I just ain't going to say much on the topic. So there's been some shows where she's been heavily, topic focused and went right in. And there's other ones where she kind of sat on the sidelines a little bit, but it's usually by her own meaning. But Terry, you've been an awesome dynamite component of this show. The response to having you here has been dynamite. We don't have enough lady gamers, period. And we certainly don't have enough that, are more than just what you call like a pretty face on the camera with scantily clad outfits and stuff. There's more than enough of that to go around. And most of them are just bimbos that get by on their looks and certainly not their personality. But you are anything but. Not saying you're not good looking or anything like that, but I'm just saying that you are just more than a face. You know your shit, and you've been a dynamite part of this show, and we love you for it. We're definitely going to miss you for a while. So let people know where they can check out you and your content and all your car cool stuff too.
Yes. So you guys can go ahead. You can check out my actual YouTube channel, which is the name like you see right here on the screen. I do have 3 seasons of my personal podcast on there called Just a Glimpse. So you can kind of get an idea of things I've done in the past. And I'd be willing to revitalize it if, I see that there's an interest in it. Otherwise, I kind of stop because it's really hard to do a podcast by yourself. Before I did that, I did several podcasts with other people. I've formed some and I'd bring guests on, and then I was a co-host on another. And I've had a great time podcasting. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to, do one by myself because I wanted to share my own opinion and not have to deal with other people trying to chastise me because they, because my opinion is never the popular opinion. So go ahead and check that stuff out. Otherwise, you can go over to my Twitter, CoolcatTerri. And if you want to stay in the know for indie games, because I always, I follow a lot of developers on there. And I like to share the progression that they've been making with their games, because it's like a lot of these games, most of you will never even hear about. So it's a great way for you guys to still kind of get an idea of what to expect is coming. So that's great stuff. And then Cool Cat's Alley is actually my automotive media YouTube channel where I'm doing car stuff over there. So I've got my project car, which is a BMW Z3 that I've been working on. And then I also, do a little tinkering with my husband's Yukon. But the plan is to, get the Z3, up to my standards. It's already at high standards, but I want higher standards. And then I'm going to sell it to get my dream car, which is a Abarth 124 Spider, and that's going to be amazing. So, you want to definitely check out all that content to see the progression of the car as well as all the other cool stuff I'm going to be doing. And then Instagram as well. It's a great way to see what I'm doing in real life with all kinds of random stuff. So go ahead and check that out. CoolcatTerri, just like you see here, and all that great stuff. And Cheddar says he's gonna miss you all too because he's been my little buddy companion. I don't think he's missed very many episodes.
No.
As soon as I come in here, he lays right on his little blanket and he's here the whole time.
I thought it was cute earlier when we first started the show because he lies down and you see his half the body, but you could see the 2 legs he was stretching and the legs are just shooting out. It was pretty funny, just kind of like, you know how cats do that, right? It's so cute. It was so cute. Yeah. Somebody was like, "Is that cat just like sleeping or is he dead or what?" Yeah, it's great stuff. Sir X-Man's in the building. I knew the old age pension days were coming in here. All right, well, thanks again, Terry, for everything. We hope to see you soon. We'll definitely stay in touch.
Yes.
All right, guys. And as always, it's been an absolute dynamite pleasure to be with you almost each and every Sunday morning. Again, I am so sorry for a lot of people because I know how many of you enjoyed getting up. So for everybody that did haul their butts out of bed to be a part of it, you're amazing. Now, to everybody that watches on the replay as well, you're also amazing. But I always say I give a little extra credit to those in the chat because you are getting up essentially in the morning or might be afternoon. It could be nighttime in your part of the world, but you're spending it with us live. And a lot of you have been a part of the show as much as almost a panel member. You don't realize it, but I see you all there. I try to acknowledge when I can. It's not always easy. But thank you so much for being a part of this amazing journey. I'm sure it's just a revision and not the end, but we'll see where things go. As always, but it's been a great ride. This has been a dynamite show. I'm one of the best panels I could have ever assembled. I wouldn't change a damn thing about it. Can the show be better? Absolutely. I certainly encourage more, feedback as what you'd like to see in the show or different areas or maybe different things. I mean, like I said, we've always had a few staple segments like Terry's Indie Spotlight and stuff, and I wanted to make stuff a little bit more like that brings all of our panel members into the show a little bit heavier. But like I said, you can't always have stuff if you don't have content, right? So but amazing panel, amazing chat. And I can't thank you all enough for being a part of this amazing journey. So please hit the like, share, subscribe, share it out. Let people know. I'm not going anywhere, so that's the good news. I'm going to be around. I'm not taking a break or a hiatus. But on a beautiful Sunday morning, sometimes I'm going to get up during the summer and, there's going to be lots of Sundays. I'm going to say, man, I really missed Good Morning Xbox. And there's going to be a lot of Sundays, especially in the summertime, where I'm going to be like, man, I'm glad I don't have to do Good Morning Xbox because it's a beautiful Sunday morning and I want to get some kilometers in on my motorcycle. So, but anyway, It's been a good ride, and we are going to just put this one to bed for a while. This is your breakfast, Fahim Scott. Adios, Brando. I'll see you around on Xbox. I'll see you guys in some community game nights. And don't worry, I'll still be streaming. You can catch up with me there. Last words from Arnold before we stop, because somebody asked me earlier. I just wanted to come out here and tell you guys have been amazing. And I normally don't do a whole lot of guest spots over here on Good Morning Xbox. I used to be a regular pretty much on Gaming After Dark. But you guys are fantastic. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting this incredible podcast full of gamers that can articulate and talk about gaming and Xbox in particular, but they're not here causing toxic BS and stuff like that. There's no phony here, baloney. These guys are the real deal, and more people should have been watching this show. That's what I'm going to tell you now. Why? I don't understand why. Is it too early for you? That's okay. Watching the replay, hit the like button. But honestly, this show has been great, and I'm just wanted to come in and show my support for the amazing chat, the panel, and everybody here. You're dynamite. God love you. Take care, everybody. Brandon Burns, catch you later, man. I'll miss you too. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. We're going to do the outro. So again, thanks again for a fantastic run, and hopefully we'll see you all in the future. So take care, guys. Have yourself a great Sunday, and we'll see you around.